What's up, guys? It's been a little bit since I streamed, so we are going to be shiny hunting Axew some more. So let us get started. There's something about the layout, like right above the I don't know what it is, but it's right around the edge of this square, this outline. It just looks a bit blurry to me. It kind of makes me wonder if this layout saved in a small size. I wonder if that's the case. I might need to go back through and check it again. Well, actually, image, browse, easy. Yeah, that's what it is. It's saved in too small of a size. I'll have to go redo that again sometime. Okay, so let's see like what we're at here. It's been a while. I haven't done any of this like off camera, so oh yeah. What was I gonna do? That button, yes. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so got the box of Pokemon. Here's my last shiny. I also got its Serena. Okay, so where were these boxes? I moved them here. Okay, so we're in the middle of this box. Whoops. Okay. So we've hatched 500 at least. I believe if my counting is correct. We've hatched at least 500 Axews. Oh shoot, I need to charge my phone too. Let me go. My charger's just across the room, so you're just gonna see me walk backwards. Took some Motrin, or yeah, Motrin? Yeah, ibuprofen, whatever it's called. I say Motrin. Hopefully my headache goes away. I was starting to get one. I was feeling really tired and trying to stay awake, and as I did that, that's when the headache started to come in. Oh, let me click this. Okay. Let's see here. Let's get this. It's rainy. I like that. Oh, an egg. Okay. I always don't look at the webcam, and I look at myself as I talk. That doesn't look shiny to me. I know shiny is like Axew colored. I'm kind of glad I'm not doing something that's so... Whoops. That is so difficult to tell that you just never know. Move. I hope to get it though. I think I've said this before, but I want to play Breath of the Wild and I want to play Legends Arceus again. But I don't want to stop like mid shiny hunt, you know? I want to finish what I started because I also don't want to... I don't want it to either be for nothing or for me to come back and then like still have to continue to shiny hunt, you know? If I stop playing for a bit, so... Maybe we'll just get it here. I've got 500, so at this point I feel like the odds are ticking in my favor, you know, slowly but surely, to be more and more, you know, I'm gonna get it. Because it's 1 in 500 odds. Why does that light keep falling? That's not a shiny either. I swear. It's annoying. Well, I got 2 lights, but I moved one behind me, and I don't have that one on. I figured that could make some awkward lighting, having the light source be behind me. Okay, so there's 2 Axews. And we're just gonna ride around. Did I go and get this? Yeah, I did. I got that. I was over there. Okay, oh, another one hiding. So hopefully we get it. Hopefully we get it. I noticed also it's been a while. I feel like I go a while between streams. I'm just always... I record at night when I'm using the Christmas lights. And then I got baseball. I like watching baseball. So if I'm not doing a mid-tournament Beyblade stream, which that tries to be like a weekend, you know, midday. But for like these streams, are very just, you know, random. That being said, what I've been doing is not shiny hunting unless I've been on stream. So I haven't made any progress. You know, I haven't hatched another 200 or anything like that. I'm literally whatever we were at last time when I got to 500. I was like, hey, we're at 500, and now we're still at 500. But I got the shiny charm. I know I'm pseudo methoding. Actually, I guess my Pokédex is like maxed. But catching charm, like overcharm, shiny charm, yeah. Get the shiny charm. It's the first game I've ever had it in, so it gives me more of a connection to Sword, which I still really like overall. Maybe not the main game is as good. Maybe the main game isn't as good. There's a lot of cool variety with Pokemon, but I do feel like a lot of my personal favorites were added in the DLC and were not actually in the game originally. I think my biggest change is I'd make a national dex, because I'm pretty sure I'm not sure what's in Pokemon Snap either. Between what's in this and in Red Diamond Shining Pearl, which has a national dex through Gens 1 through 4, you know, you've already got all the Gen 1 through 4 and Gen 8 Pokemon, and then you've got whatever Gen 5, 6, 7 Pokemon are in this game. So all of those combined, that's a pretty large number of Pokemon just you already have the 3 models for. So I don't really know why they couldn't just make a national dex. It'd give me more for me, it'd give it more playability. Because I could Wonder Trade and get really cool stuff that I wouldn't normally be able to get. Like, I don't know, Totodile. Well, actually, no. What's a better option? I'm just gonna try right through this. Oh, I got through. What's a better option? Froakie. Use a Froakie. You know, something you'd never be able to use normally. I don't have good. Okay, I didn't think I'd hatch anything else. Gotta make sure I'm keeping up on that. I don't want to hatch them all at once, you know, and like have them all in the party, because then I'm just riding around a while. So I like having them spread out. So I try to make sure to swap out right away after something hatches. Like right now. Yeah, I need to make the layout. I need the layout seem a little bit off. Something like the boxes seem blurry to me. And there is some blur. I hate that. That bugs me. I'll fix it after the next stream. I think my box is pretty good though. Well, actually, you know, if there's only one. Well, no, not that. What? Actually, I can minus that thingy. Yeah. I thought I saw like something black behind. Oops, wrong button. I thought I saw a bar of black behind the. I think it might just be the switch to the capture card though, because there is, when I click on this, that bar of black disappears, or it's hard to see. That might be what it is, or I'm just seeing things. I mean, it is 9 o'clock. We're past. I'm tired. Got a slight headache. Actually, speaking of headaches, because it's kind of relevant, or a transition, a good transition. So I'm watching NASCAR again after about a 10-year break. I used to watch when I was little. I want to say I haven't really seen anything past the car tomorrow, and we did not switch out that egg after I hatched it today. No, I didn't. I'm an idiot. Anyway, and I'm watching again, and Kurt Busch, the longest tenured driver currently, got a concussion, and I swear people are like, "Oh my goodness, is his career over?" And it's like, huh? I just don't understand. I wonder if people are just used to Dale Earnhardt Jr. having concussions, you know, or something like that, and that ended his career early. But like, he got concussed the week before, or the day before a race because it was qualifying. And then the protocols for if you get cleared or not are midweek. So we didn't get cleared, half a week after he got it. Which, I don't know, but apparently it seemed like people really expected him to be cleared. I was like, it's a concussion. You don't normally heal from a concussion that quickly. Then, for the next race, Michigan's next weekend, he also wasn't cleared. But it's only been a week and a half since he got his concussion, because again, the concussion was right before the race, and it's midweek. So it was the 23rd or whatever he got concussed. And then whatever, 4 days after that are, or 5 days after that, something like that. It was about 4. Maybe that Wednesday. Maybe it's 5. But you get the point. It's midweek. So whatever that is, 23rd, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like the 7th, the 8th, 27th, 28th. He wasn't cleared. And now it's, the 3rd. He wasn't cleared. But that's only been 10 days since the concussion, It's like... Well, people just... I don't know. I don't understand how people think you recover that quickly. I mean, it's a concussion. I'd expect him to miss at least 3 races. Because since he got concussed the day before a race, one race isn't a week, He got concussed the day before a race, and then missed the next week and the next race. That's 2 races over the course of 1 week, essentially, because 8 days, 1 week. And now, he's going to miss. I'm really dropping the ball here on these Axews. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hatch all these Axew eggs, and then we're going to slowly take them out. Just like I said I wasn't going to do. But yeah, I expect to, again, the timeline, right, is got concussed the day before a race, and then it's midweek. So, at this point, it's been a week and a half from his concussion, but we know he's going to miss a 3rd race, and I feel like that 3rd race makes people like, more, because 3 races, you think 3 races, 3 weeks, but it's not really. It's 3 races, 2 weeks, but 1.5 since, he got it. So, some unlimited here. But yeah, I don't know. If he's not cleared next, okay, it's been 2.5 weeks. But still, concussions can last a little bit. I'd expect, 2 weeks to 4 weeks, which is 3 races to 5 races, and he got concussed with 6 races left in the year. So, yeah, that's just, I don't know, that's something that's been bugging me. Is I feel like, oh my goodness, is his career over? I get that he is 44 and he's older, but he's probably had multiple concussions. This is why it's taking so long to heal. It's been a week and a half. What would you expect? The Mariners' Kyle Lewis, who's 28 or something, had a baseball go off of his shoulder into his helmet, knock his helmet off, and he got concussed. And he was out. I don't remember the exact timeline, but he was out a while. I think it was at least a couple weeks, and they had a rehab assignment, so he missed more time than that. But he's still, concussion symptoms for a good 2 to 3 weeks, I think, after at least. And people are expecting a NASCAR driver who's 44 to just be within a week. It's like, what the hell? What the fuck are you thinking? Yeah. Until Kurt Busch either falls off a cliff when he returns or is out the regular season finale, which is 4 or is it 3 weeks from now? 4 weeks from now. Okay, wait, let me check my dates here. Which is, so there's a race the 6th, then there's 13th, the 27th as the finale. So unless he's, another 3 weeks down the line, then it's, over a month. Okay, that's maybe that, it sounds like a pretty serious concussion at that point. But yeah, and it's like, concussions have long-term health effects, which yes, they can, but it's like, if you're a driver in NASCAR or a football player, what a concussion can do. We've known about this for concussions are not they're recent, but it's not the last 2 years or something. We have data on concussions, so I feel like any sports player, any athlete, knows what they're getting into and knows the risks. If you didn't, then if you were really that worried about a concussion, I feel like someone like Kurt Busch, especially who's older, would have already retired. I mean, you never know. He could, if he does retire, then, good on him prioritizing his health. That's his decision. Because it sounds like he might be ready to retire after this year. But, yeah. It's one of those things, like, I feel like people are way over worrying about this, you know? Let him heal. It takes time to heal from a concussion. I put all those eggs right into my thingy, didn't I? I'm so stupid. Okay. We are going to put this away. I'll put this away. As I said, I want to have them spread out as they hatch. And I go in and put all of them here, so I'm going to be walking forever doing nothing. Okay. There we go. Try this again. But it's like, give them give them a bit to heal. It's a concussion. Now you do not heal from concussion instantly. And then, actually, we can just pick up what's in here. Start from scratch. And then, if he misses a lot of time, okay, then maybe start worrying a little bit. But if it's, regular concussion, timeline, 2 to 4 weeks or something, then I don't see the worry here. Like I said, until he falls off a cliff or something, But I don't know. Maybe it's because he's older, is why people, think it's gonna be worse. But from what I heard, Jimmy Johnson concussion, it came back early, and his career fell off, or he kind of dropped off, but he came back early from the sound of it. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. had a history of concussions. Maybe, if an athlete likely has had a lot of concussions before, like I wouldn't be surprised Kurt Busch has had multiple concussions, but as far as I'm aware, it's not documented concussions. He hasn't been missing time because of concussions his entire career. I know Dale Earnhardt Jr. had, a history where he missed races multiple times due to multiple concussions. As far as I'm aware, that's not Kurt Busch. He's just simply older when he got it. But yeah, I was like, I don't know. I feel like people are over worrying about this. Is his career over? Maybe, but if he decides that, then so be it. But I don't think we should be declaring or worrying about is his career over because he hasn't been cleared after a week and a half of having a concussion. That's not a lot of time. I know maybe, again, having older to do something with it, but I don't know like an NFL player, that is like, gets a concussion and then, misses the next week, and then when he's not cleared, it's like, oh my goodness, is his career going to be over? Is he going to be the same? Unless it's recurring, I didn't hear any MLB player, or any person saying, oh my goodness, is Kyle Lewis' career over because he got a concussion? Well, actually, Mariners fans were worried because they're like, does it really take this long? But I guess people just assume concussions just heal really quickly, but that's not the case. Okay, so we got some eggs now that are spread out. I maybe part of it is also the next gen car. Drivers have talked about how they've had like headaches or something, or ringing, like later on, and that would sound like a concussion. I'm not sure if Kurt Busch was one of those people to say that, but maybe that's the thought, is he's been concussed multiple times, throughout the year or something like that. But unless he again falls off a complete cliff after this, then I'm not gonna worry, at least not yet. I have no one concussion to me is not a reason to worry at this point. He hasn't had a history. Give him time. It takes a while to recover. I think that's just the thing for me. It's bugging me. Is it sounds like a lot of people don't understand how long it takes to get over a concussion. People don't I wouldn't say it's normal to get over the concussion really quickly. Like I'd say it's generally at least 2 weeks, like 2 to 4. I mean concussions are serious. But it seems like some people just assume, week and a half, boom, you're ready. I was thinking, I think that's the thing too, is he's not cleared, like, it's not every day, he's cleared midweek. So in this case, he's missing a third race, which sounds like, oh my goodness, a third race, that's a lot, that's 3 weeks. But really, it's only been a week and a half since he's been concussed. So you hear the 3 races, you think 3 weeks because, 3 races, you think, a week. Right? Because it was only race a week, but he got concussed the week before, or the day before a race. So it's really, and because he's getting tested midweek for it, to get cleared, it's really only been a week and a half since he was concussed, and that would be an early recovery. I'd be more worried, honestly, if he was back after a week and a half, or he was cleared after a week and a half or half a week, than being out for 2 to 4 weeks. if he's out, if he's not cleared for Daytona, this season finale, then okay, that's that's on the longer end for concussions, I'd say. But we're not there yet. Let's worry when we get there, not oh my gosh, he hasn't been clear after a week and a half. Yeah, that's just what's been bugging me recently. In my eyes, a concussion is more than a week and a half. It's at least 2 weeks. I wouldn't expect him back until at least 2 weeks. And 2.5 weeks will be when he's next tested, since he's been getting tested midweek from the updates from himself in 2311, whatever. I keep up with the NASCAR news. In sports news, the Mariners made some moves at the deadline. I'm excited. The Seattle Redlegs. They got all the best Reds players. They got a former Red. He got let go after, or not re-signed after. I hope the shiny comes soon. I'm at well yeah, I put in the title. I've had 500 so far, or hashed 500 so far. The Mariners they got Winker, Suarez in the off season. They just traded for former Red Kirk Casale up until the 2020 season, and he was with the Giants after that. And then Luis Castillo, Reds pitcher. That excites me. Not a shiny. I'm kind of feeling it, It's gotta come, right? The shiny. No good speed. Thanks. What I don't remember though is was the boxes here. I don't remember if this box number 12 or whatever is the 500th, or which one that is, or it's midway through. I should probably check sometime. Actually, you know what? Let's just do that real quick. Let's check so we have a basis here. We're about at the end of this, right? Yes, I've got the charm and Masuda method. So we're almost at the end of this box. So that's 2, 1, 2, yeah. 1, 2. Yeah, that's 11, 12, 13. I'm miscounting. So we've got 2 boxes here. That's roughly 60 Pokemon. So let's quickly go into Pokemon Home. And let's check Pokemon Home. That's how many we have. But yeah, Masuda method, shiny charm. I completed once with Pokemon Home and GTS. I used that to get the shiny charm, or to complete the Pokedex for the shiny charm. And I've got some Dittos, some perfect Dittos that we're breeding with. So all these are good Axews. Well, not all of them. You don't want your not good attack. No good attack or no good speed, but they're all 5 IV Axews. I think I've gotten like 24 perfects. Okay. Sword, yes. Look at all the games. Okay. Oh man. Okay, so there's half a box here. So 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, 330, 360, 390, 420, 450, 480, 480. Then we've got the half box. Then we got the 2 boxes here, basically 2 boxes. So that's another 60. So that's 511, 540. So 540 at least. We'll just use that. We'll call it 540. We'll ignore that extra half box. That puts us at 550. So 540. Oh yeah, dude. Perfect Ditto is like amazing. Here's one of mine. Okay, here's the perfects. I'm breeding with one of the perfects, obviously. Here's my nice perfect Ditto. I've got Eevee. It probably would have shown up on the screen there, right? Yes, save changes and exit. I didn't do anything, just in case. I've not finished Let's Go Eevee though. I'm just lazy. It's not exactly my style. Yeah, Let's Go Eevee. I think originally wanted to have a living dex for one game, and then I just got really messed up with it, and I did not continue it. It's a good thing though to like, just work for generally, is having, like a living dex. I like the always having something to like go for. In this case, for me, I just kind of level up whatever I want to level up. For example, actually, the whole reason this spawned was because I didn't get one on Go Fest in Pokemon Go, so I wanted a shiny Axew. I never got the shiny Axew. I know it will come eventually in a community day or whatever, so it's like, I'm going to put it in my own hands and get one here. So, with that, my Pokemon that I leveled up were, well, here's a perfect Axew's placeholder. There's a Cottony. And then I had a couple other ones that I was thinking about. I don't remember all of them offhand. One of them was Corsola. I was going for a Corsola. I think I was going to like level one up or something like that. Okay, let's get back to shiny hunting. What else was it though? I forget what else I was thinking about. But I had a few Pokemon on a... I think Tauros was one of them. Tauros and Buffalon. Wait, no, I leveled up Tauros already, didn't I? Actually, I'm an idiot. I did level up Tauros, right? I probably did. Oh, yeah, I gotta go. Because it's gonna bug me otherwise. Okay, no, I didn't. Okay, so Tauros was one of them. I was gonna level up with Tauros. That was one of the Pokemon. I think I've got a Tauros to breed, is what it is. I think I was looking for a better Corsola. But I think I might just decide on one that I have. Ah, one button. And then there was another Pokemon, probably whatever it was, that I was going to level up. I like to play some Arceus, though. I've been feeling the open world again for Arceus and Breath of the Wild. I wouldn't have the DLC, but I don't know how much of the DLC I realistically use in playing Breath of the Wild, because some of it is like do a quest to get the, you know, like the bike or whatever. And I'm not good at the combat. I'm a button masher, which is funny because like I don't like Warriors games because I don't like the button mashing, but I keep not getting my Axews out of my party. I'm a button masher, but I don't like Warriors games. I'm boring. But I like Breath of the Wild. But I button mash through the combat. I'm not really much of a. I'm not good at like the dodging and the button pressing. It's like tricks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Because if I have not played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in a little bit, I am so bad at getting tricks. The DLC is fun, by the way. I posted a video and I went live right after I posted the video. Actually, I was waiting on the video to get up. And I was finishing away like the thumbnail and stuff. Who won? Oh. I love Breath of the Wild though. I put like 600 hours into it or something. I know some people put like 2,000 hours into Smash Brothers and games like that. I know somebody who's done that, who plays a lot of Smash competitively. I don't put that many hours into games. Move my feet. Oh, this is warm. Oh, my computer is warm. Ah. Let me tell you, it's not particularly interesting hatching eggs. 500 in, I've got nothing to show for it except Bajillion Perfects. I mean, Perfect is nice, though. What other things I was thinking about would be a cool shiny to have? There are some other things I was thinking about and thinking, man, I'd like to have that shiny, but I don't remember what any of them are offhand. Like, it's something I'd have to look at my list of like a list of Pokemon and see, okay, I know that shiny. That'd be cool. Or a Pokemon Go on me to look through. Oh, Numel. That was one. I wish Numel was in this game. I do not have the National Dex in Shining Pearl, and I don't plan on shiny hunting there anytime soon. But Camerupt is a black shiny as well, just like Haxorus is. And I was like, oh, that'd be so cool to get one of those. Or Zubat. Zubat's in this game now. Yeah, Zubat's in this game. I got a shiny Golbat and Sapphire. So, dang, that's lucky. Also, my internet doesn't die. Last time I streamed, I had internet problems where the internet actually just straight up died multiple times. I mean, something completely out of my control, but it was really obnoxious. Because it shut my stream off or finished it and I didn't know, so I was just streaming to nothing. Because my thing is covering my stream. My OBS, thing here is covering my stream, so. I get sent to the box. Scorbunny, Sobble, 2 Grookey, and Poplio. I really like Poplio. That's another egg. Okay, I gotta click on my priority to make sure I'm not leaving something in there. I really like Primarina. I leveled up Primarina. I leveled up Score Money, and then I leveled up with XP things a Grookey for raids. But everything else I don't do that with because I like using the Pokemon. That was specifically something that I did in the sole purpose of I want something for raids. So my Grookey that was leveled up with XP candies. I don't know which the shinies though for the starters of this game look like. I don't like Incineroar from last gen. I'm not sure I like Decidueye either all that much. I think Primarina is fine, though I like regular Primarina too. I really like Primarina. Nope, no shiny. It's gonna be exciting when I get one, especially if I'm not super tired. If I'm super tired, then I'm like, half asleep. But I'm still feeling decently awake. And we finished the box. Put that down. Make sure it keeps me in that box. Every now and then it starts putting them in random boxes. That's why I went from going backwards in reverse order, because that's how I sort my boxes, is everything starts in box 1, so I keep things in boxes like 31, 30, all that. 941. I personally start getting tired though after 9. I might be up for a while, especially if I'm on the computer, but I get tired after 9. But this is the only time it is for me to stream. Anyway, I gotta start going to bed decently early, because when school starts, I'll have to be up. I've got an 8 o'clock class. Honestly, I don't mind going to bed super early. I mean, it gets dark really late. It's easier to go to bed early it's easier to go to bed when it's dark. I have trouble sleeping with the light, but it's also hard getting up it's hard getting up when it's still dark outside. Which is what we have to do for school, because it's like a 30-minute at least. I think we're like a 40-minute drive actually. So I think I gotta leave at like 7-ish. The problem is I'm a Mariners fan, and the Mariners are West Coast, so they play at 10:10 when they're at home games. They're off today. Well, I'm streaming. Part of the reason I'm streaming. But when they're at home, or they're on the West Coast playing the other West Coast teams, which, they do a lot because they're on the divisions and in the West. So all those away games as well are all 10:10 games for the most part. Or they're, afternoon games. There's a Pokemon in my thing. I've never been that far north. I've been out west. I've been out west to Nevada, and I've been out west to Texas, and I've been north up to Ohio. I think I've been even further north than that. Oh. I kind of like that on the East Coast you have a bunch of states like lining up. Out west, it's what, California, Oregon, and then it's Washington. I drive. I mean, I kind of have to drive. I don't mind driving though too much, as long as it's not super high stressful traffic. It's my favorite time to listen to music. So, I'm pretty down to be in the car. But it's going to be a lot of driving for the semester because I've got a class at 8. It's like 8 to 10:40 or something like that. And then my next class is like 4. And I don't really have any reason to be on campus for 5 hours in between. So, I'm going to be heading home most likely. And then going back out. Because on the way home, it's a quicker drive. But it's still probably like an hour and 20. So, I get out 10:45. I'm spending what? So get home at like, or if the driving time is about that extra from like when I get out to 12 in total. obviously it's split beginning and after trip, or going, or leaving and going home and then going back. But if it takes that total of going home and going back is a total of like an hour, or the an hour 10, hour 20 from 10 to 12 or whatever, then yeah, I still got like 4 hours at home total. So might as well. That's better than being at school for like 5 hours doing nothing. And did I look? Yeah, I like being able to play my own music too. Nobody gets to choose. I get to choose. So I don't mind driving too much. The most thing I hate is just the road that there's technically a couple ways to get there. One's just longer. Like there's a direct path and then there's roundabout ways. And the direct path is constantly under construction, a lot of construction, and that is not very fun. So I take the roundabout way home. It's longer, but it's a lot more enjoyable of a drive. I theoretically could also stop at a friend's house, because if I take the roundabout way, my friend is not really that far away. It's a slight detour, like 5 minutes in another direction on my way. Like I passed by actually I know I found a way that cuts out a lot of time. That's still nice, because like for me, I either drive one way and then I can go back one way. Bulbasaur. I say Bulbasaur, but I don't care for Stonjourner in the slightest, so a little bit biased there. Oh, it says I'm losing kilobytes per second. Does that mean we're getting lag? I hope we're not getting lag. Oh, 0. Okay, bear with me if there's a bit of lag here. I'll continue my thought in a second. I don't want to continue my thought though if I'm lagging too much. I guess that's, oh yeah, now I got less bars. Oh, okay, there we go, it's back. Okay, cool. Say, there's, let me pause again. So there's, direct way to school and back. But going back, for me, I usually take this way up here, and then it cuts back this way. Or I can take it further and cut back down here, like this, like all the way around. So I can either cut back part of the way or cut back like all the way. And then, I can also, if I'm between each of those points where I start to go back downwards, between that point, like 3/4 of the way, I can take another route that hits me and connects me like this. So instead of going like this, I can go like this and cut off some time. But if I take that really long way, which is also perfectly fine, it's just another like 2 minutes to the big road, and then another like 2 minutes down that road, and then like 2 minutes down a small road, and then boom, I'm at his house. So if he's like home or something, then I can just hang out over there or something for a bit if I wanted, possibly. Maybe on some days. I do only go 2 days a week though. Long classes, but 2 days a week. So that's nice. I have to cross a bridge as well. I can take, again, the roundabout way and I cross other bridges, but the roundabout way only makes really sense going home because it's still slower to get there. It's just a more relaxed drive because there's no traffic. I do take a slight detour in the mornings to avoid school traffic, but it's faster because of the school traffic. So going off to the side a little bit it doesn't really make it that big of a deal. School traffic is the worst. Also, parking probably won't be an issue because it's an 8 o'clock class. I don't think there's really classes before that. So that'll be nice as well. I don't do as good with a lot of people, so being on campus when there's not as many people is nice. Still hate getting up that early though, because if I'm trying to watch like Mariners games or something, it's a bit difficult. But even on other days, you can't get a consistent sleep. I can't get a consistent sleep schedule if I want to watch the Mariners and be able to get up for school. Because I can watch the Mariners when I get home from school, and have an off day. But then I'm going to bed late, so that can mess with your sleep schedule. On my talk abroad, when I took Japanese, the person that I talked to, she even like off days and stuff, she installed the same sleep schedule. Would go to bed and wake up at the same time, just keep it consistent. Maybe I can do that. I just can't do it to full extent because There's either... I'm not worried about NASCAR races being really late because there's barely any of those, but I watch the Mariners and they're late and I want to watch them. I don't like watching mid-afternoon games as much anyway. And then NFL games, Sunday Night Football and stuff. Though thankfully, being Monday and Wednesday classes, Sunday Night Football is, that's gonna, I'm gonna be up a little bit late for those nights. But there's no Tuesday Night Football, so that works out. Baseball's like every night. But I don't have to worry about primetime baseball either because teams play midday, and I'm not staying up for whatever random teams I don't care about are playing on Sunday Night Baseball. And nope. I do really want to get this though because I don't want to play. I don't want to switch games until I did like the bit of Mario Kart for the DLC. I don't want to switch games though until I get my shiny. At the same time here, I don't want to be spending another 12 hours going for shinies and hatching another 1,000 or plus when the odds are 1 in 500. That'd be pain. Where do we start today? Check somewhere. Tell me when it's hatched, right? 7:15, 7:15, 7:15, 7:15, 8:04. Okay. So we were 2/5 of the way through the box. Okay, so when I start row 3, that's when I've hit the full bottom box mark. Now I gotta not let myself get distracted with Pokemon. As in, like, I can't get distracted thinking about Pokemon that I like. I need to make myself not check my box. Because what I always do is besides doing that to make sure I've got eggs in my thing, checking my box to check a Pokemon or something, oh, did I level this up or whatever? Just takes extra time. Unless we get the shiny right here. Nope. I also need to figure out how to clip things, because if I get a shiny, I probably want to clip that, but I don't know how to do all that stuff. See, when it comes to YouTube, I'm actually a boomer. Because I'm not a consistent streamer, and YouTube is not like a job or anything like that. I haven't exactly adapted to some of these things. I know how to stream, but like I don't know how to clip things like that. I've used shorts like twice. I moved that thing, I moved that Axew. I've used shorts like twice. Once or twice. I don't know. See, my thing with shorts is like, on one hand, I can see the getting people to come to the channel seeing a short, but at the same time, that's not my style. It's one thing to make like a Beyblade video, and the battle's short and the video's a minute. But it's a full-fledged video. I don't really care for making shorts. If I get it, yeah, that'd be nice. if I get it today, that'd be nice. That's the thing I need to just figure out. But I'm definitely not going to clip myself doing nothing. But yeah, that's something to figure out. But I would appreciate if I can if you clip it if I get the shiny or something. That'd be nice. Oh. I really what would be the term? I'm somewhat allergic to technology when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to that stuff. I'm big into looking at the analytics though. That's just something that's fun. I sometimes do wish that you get more specified analytics though. Or if I got just a little bit more viewers that I could tell like certain demographics per video, because there's a lot of things where I don't have the age range and the age and the geography. But there was a time when somebody was coming onto my channel, and I ended up banning them, and I kept getting alts that I thought were them, and I had analytics on days that they were on my channel that like certain demographics were like really high, and I kind of wish I could be almost more specific at times so I can know specifically, okay, it's likely this person, or like alt here. The thing though, what would happen is I'd get a notification from a comment that sounded in tone very similar. They weren't native English, and I'd check my the mobile app, and it'd say, "Channel was made 6 minutes ago." I was like, okay, I think I know what's up here. If I end up accidentally banning somebody else, then whoops. But I don't think that was the case. Or just kind of looking at the different channels that came up, I'm like 90% sure that never happened, and it was the same person over and over again. But it'd be nice to be able to check the analytics to be able to like kind of confirm. Good luck on Bulbasaur. I hope you get it really quickly. Yes, yeah, I don't want to think about shinies that I want besides Axew, because if I do that, then I'm going to start wanting to go through my box and looking at my Pokemon so I can be like, okay, what would be a cool shiny? Except for things I know offhand. Like, I know Tauros, I know Rhenoclus, I know Greninja, not in the game. That's another thing is, because of the National Dex, you get the Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 7 and 8 starters are in this game. So Gen 5 and 6 starters, except for Oshawott and Legends, are just inexplicably not in this game, which is like, why? Why are there two sets of starters that just aren't in Gen 8 at all, while the rest of them are? I don't understand that. It's very not fair, if you ask me. And this party is full. Okay, eggs. All eggs. I get distracted and then forget if I move my Axew into the box or not and swapped it with an egg. I was randomizing Leaf Green, and I was randomizing today, and I wanted to just start another playthrough because Crystal's alright. And I was going to the end of Ruby, but Ruby needs you to use a lot of teams and stuff, and I didn't have a team exactly ready to need to do Rock Smash and Strength. In other games I have, because like Teddy Ursa, is a normal type, or Slacking was a normal type, so it makes sense to give him Strength. But I don't have anything here, I don't want to deal with that, so I was like, I'm just going to play Leaf Green. And I randomized items, right, just because that's fun. And I randomized TMs because that's fun. But it kept compatibility the same, so if Ice Beam became Flamethrower, then my Ice type or Water type would get Flamethrower, if I wanted that. And I did stats, because I thought stats would be fun, since some Pokemon, like Machop, right, are, fighting types, fighting's physical. But you got like Gengar, who's a high special attacker, but Poison and Ghost are both physical, so like Gengar is terrible. So I was like, stats could be fun to make some Pokemon better, and like the Pokemon that have low base stat totals, maybe they become something. For example, in Ruby, I have a Seeking at level 35, and while everything else is generally like for example, my Meganium is a jack of all trades. Everything is between like 60 and 70, or 70 and 80 on its stats at this point. In the mid, or it's now at 40, so I think it's all between like 70s and 80s. It's a high HP stat. This Seeking has like 40 attack, 40 defense, and 40 special defense, and like fairly low HP, but it's got over 100 special attack and speed. So it's given that water is special in this game, all water moves are special. Surf just hits like a truck. Nice base, 95 power in Gen 3. Surf with a humongous special attack stat and outspeeds everything. And I love it. I already had a Dugong on the team, but like, I've got to use this Seeking, because I could tell at level 20 when its stats were like in the 60s, and everything else was in the like, okay, this Seeking is special. And it was. But oh my goodness, my starters can get anything. Bulbasaur made me think of that because Bulbasaur was Gen 1. I got a Charmander though, and Crystal, and its stats were... It's an interesting one because Fire Flying, so Flying is physical, Fire special, so you probably want a bit of both, for random stats. And Charmander did not get physical attack at all, or maybe it did get special attack. But Fire is more important to me than Flying moves, and it definitely did not have the special... I think it was the special attack it didn't have. Whoops, clicked the wrong button. And then I got Machop and Geodude as my random starters. I had to do multiple randomizations, by the way. Because like one is Igglybuff, and I can't guarantee I'd be able to evolve Jigglypuff with random items. Because who knows if I get a Moonstone or not? You know, if I do, great. You know, that opens things up if I have things, but no guarantees. So I couldn't really use Igglybuff or Nidoran. Machop and Geodude both got randomized to have like awful attack stats, and Gengar as well, or Ghastly as well. So it's like, Dratini was a starter one of the rounds, but I used Dratini last time, and Dratini, maybe I could use it again because I admittedly got kind of screwed with my Dratini. It got color change, so it kept losing stab. And it ended up not being the best Pokemon in the world, but I didn't want to use it again. And I don't want to be instantly too Gen 1 like, I guess. I guess Machop, I haven't used Machop before. It's been a while. And some things I do like the Gen 3 sprites. Like, I like Machamp in Leaf Green and Fire Red a lot. I like the colors of Leaf Green and Fire Red. They're very vibrant. I think, like, especially X and Y, the colors aren't really vibrant at all in some of these Pokemon. So I like that there's more vibrance, more, I guess, saturation maybe also work as a term, the Pokemon sprites. So I was like, I've never used a Machop in Gen 3, so that could be fun, which is also one to try. But generally, I kind of want things that are like a little bit different, you know, because it's Leaf Green and Fire Red. I don't want to use Charmander, you know, who's a normal starter, or like, I don't know, it's probably get really early. They're all 3-stage evolutions, so there's no like Mankeys or anything like that. That's the one thing, is either randomized completely or Mankey, you know, or like stage or 3-stage Eevos. But those are all. But there's so many. Like Ruby kept giving me water types every single fucking route, and I love water types. But it's like I've got this busted Seeking, and I've got a Dugong who's also got ice moves. Who actually Dugong was water type, but only had ice moves until Surf, and I really honestly use it more as an ice type than a water type. But it's like I can't use Staryu and Omastar and Poliwag and Dugong and Seeking all on my team. You know, I don't want more than like 2 water types. But anyway, I settled on a Spheal. I got Spheal, Mudkip, and I was like, I gotta use Spheal because there's a lot of ground types. There's not a lot of ice types. Ice types are Jinx, the Jinx line, Spheal line, Snorunt line, Lapras. Who knows where Lapras would be as a 1-stage evolution, like where it lines up as in the wild. Because like Omastar replaced Torkoal, but I don't know exactly where the stats would line up on a Lapras, like what it would replace. Because if the stats are too high, then it's not going to replace anything. Like Pidgey, because that's the thing. I did global. I did global and it's similar strength, so it still plays like a regular Pokemon game, just with different Pokemon in each area, which is what I wanted. I wanted to have different Pokemon that are still the same strength in the areas. And even this Leaf Green one, though, Spheal's my starter. And I've seen Wingull and Poliwag already. And something else. Krabby. I saw Krabby as well in Viridian Forest. Poliwag was in Viridian Forest. I think Krabby was in it as well. Or Poliwag. No, Poliwag was the Spearow and Mankey route off to the side where Victory Road is. And so is Wingull. Then Krabby was in the forest. I've already got Spheal on my team as a starter, and Mudkip was a starter. I know water type is the most common type, and I love water types. It's my favorite type. But it's like that is water overload. I can't use all of them. I'm using Spheal. I wouldn't be against using another water type if it's good. Preferably dual type, but yeah. And I agree. I balance my team whenever I can. I will double up on types, but it's not the most common thing for me. I usually, if I have a type, it's like, okay, let's not use anything else of this type. Unless there's a good reason. And like, for example, in Emeralds, my favorite Emerald team, I had Swampert as my starter, and I added Sharpedo. Obviously, both of them, I guess maybe a bit more physical attack, and, water and dark are both special. Ground's physical. But I needed a dark type. I needed dark type moves. I didn't have that on my team. Because my team was Swampert, Breloom, Torkoal, Altaria, Magneton, and Sharpedo. So I needed the dark to cover like Titanize and stuff. And that was fine. Sharpedo's really cool. That'd be like if I got Carvanha early, I'd be like psyched to be able to use Carvanha early. Especially again in a game where Sharpedo is normally, I think it's got a good special attack stat, but it's more of a physical attacker. So you get, if I got a Sharpedo with like super high special attack, I'd be like psyched. But the thing is, you can with the random stats, you get cool random things. But I can't use every Pokemon I come across because some Pokemon just end up having the bad, got a bad roll. But that's what makes it fun, though. Is some Pokemon get good rolls, some get bad rolls, and they don't change when they evolve either. They stick with the evolution line, which is also important because I'm gonna give it a second before I take that out. Because what I wouldn't want is to use a Pokemon like Sharpedo, like Carvana. Let's say Carvana has good special attack, really has special attack, which in Gen 1, pre-physical special split, Dark and Water both special, that'd be amazing. If it evolves and then gets low special attack, now my Sharpedo goes from I go from a really good Carvana to a total shitty Sharpedo, right? I should use Sharpedo again. It's been a while. I've only used it in that game, I think. It was my Surf Pokemon in Oris because Sharpedo surfs really fast, but I haven't actually used it since. Sharpedo is really cool though. That's another Pokemon. Like I said, some of these Pokemon, like the Gen 1 starters, lost a lot of a lot of color. They got really dull, the color schemes in Gen 6 when things went to 3D. I think Sharpedo is one of those Pokemon, especially in Gen 8, where I think Pokemon look a bit better. Do I have a Sharpedo? I do have a Sharpedo, I think. Oh, current recommendation, Sharpedo. There we go. Oops, oh, remember. Can I at least look at it? I've seen one. So can I at least look at it in the Pokédex? Yeah, like Sharpedo, that's a nice blue. That's a nice dark blue. Like, that's a very colorful blue. And I like that. Sharpedo's a really cool Pokemon. Like, a really, really cool Pokemon. I like Sharpedo a lot. Man, that's something maybe that's something I should level up as a Sharpedo. I haven't done that. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I'll breed a Carvana. I'm surprised I don't have a Sharpedo yet. I've killed a bunch of them. Whenever I'm surfing out in the Isle of Armor, Sharpedo, I always give my Electric type out. Usually like Jolteon because it's fast, but any special Electric type, Heliolisk now. It's got one of those. And just whenever they come up, that's what I do. Is I when I level up Pokemon, I just go to the wild area, Isle of Armor, Crown Tundra, especially the DLC spots because they've got Pokemon that are a bit higher leveled. These are all 60, but they've got a few that are like 65 and 70, or at least more that are like that. That's always good to find higher level things. I think originally my yeah, exactly. The saturation is awful in Gen 7. A lot of Pokemon, like especially Gen 1, and especially the Stars Gen 1, just got screwed by it. They look terrible, but they look so like go to like Bulbapedia, right, and look up like Charizard and Bulbasaur and Venusaur, Blastoise, but especially like Charizard. Charizard is such a bright, vibrant orange, and it is not that. At least now, let's spend more time looking at the Pokédex to look at Charizard. Charizard's at the very end of the Pokédex, is it not? I've seen one. I'm not sure if I have one, but I know I've seen one. But Charizard now, like, it looks better here. It's not quite as vibrant as it was in Gen 2, but it looks better than it did in Gen 7, in my opinion. Charizard, I like this. I like this a lot more. Okay, now I'll touch some more eggs. Pokemon, we good? Okay, no, there's an Axew here. Let's not forget to move that. Well, nope, not. That's my biggest thing about Gen 7. I absolutely hate the saturation. Oh, another thing, right? So, I was watching a Hoops and Hip Hop video about where he was using a random Pokemon generator and then trying to give a fact off the top of his head about the Pokemon. And there was a few that he couldn't think of anything. So you also knew he wasn't faking it because he skipped them. If you're which was nice because you could easily see the transparency because in that kind of video, right? You could easily make a cut and look something up if you don't know, but he cut and would be like, I can't think of anything. But one of the Pokemon they got was Venomoth. And I did not know this, but Venomoth has not been in a regional dex since Generation 2. Gold and Silver. Obviously, there's been remakes of, Gens 1 and 2 since then. But looking at, new games, non-remakes, it hasn't been in a regional dex since Gen 2. And I think about it, and I'm like, well, I don't remember it being in Gen 4. It's definitely not in Gen 3. I don't remember it being in Gen 5. In Black and White 2. I don't remember it being in Gen 6 or Gen 7. And it's not here in Gen 8. And it's like, wow. I can't believe that. So, because what I always knew is Breloom. Breloom hasn't been back in a regional deck since Gen 3 when it came out. Not quite as long as Venomoth, because obviously all the Gen 1 Pokemon are Gen 2. So realistically, everything, the oldest you can go back to is Gen 2, because I think everything except for like starters and legendaries are in that regional dex for that you can like catch and stuff in Gold and Silver. So everything's up to Gen 2. So Venomoth was in Gen 2 with all the other Gen 1 Pokemon, hasn't been used since, and then Breloom hasn't been back since Gen 3 when it came out. Because as a big Breloom fan, who also I tend to use fire, electric, and steel types a lot, which are all weak to ground, so I end up having to have a grass, a bug, or something like that, or a flying type on my team. And a lot of times, you know, I resist rock. Bug and flying are both weak to rock. So, an ice 2 if I have an ice type or something, right? So, you know, I end up needing Pokemon that resist ground and rock, and sometimes water as well. If I got like a fire and a ground type. And what fits that is a grass fighting type. And that's Chestnut, a starter, Breloom, and Virizion, who's legendary. And now we got Decidueye in the new games, but that's Hisuian form only, right? And Breloom is not in Gen 5. I think it's technically, you can get Breloom or Shroomish in the post-game. You get it in the post-game of Gen 5 in one of the versions. And then it's in Pinwheel Forest in Black and White 2. Or one of the two. Or both. But that's now post-game Black and White 2. So it's post-game of both of them. Obviously, there's no new Pokemon in Black and White main game. But Black and White 2 have older Pokemon than the... There's no old Pokemon in Black and White. But there's obviously they are in Black and White 2. But it's not... It's only post-game Black and White 2 still, just like it was in Black and White. It was one of the post-game Pokemon in Black and White. And it continued that way. It wasn't brought into the regular decks in Black and White 2. It's just another national dex thing. You get it in the Great Martian Gen 4, but it's also, again, it's a national dex Pokemon. You only get it. You look at the binoculars, see if it's there. And that's what it is in Gen 4. It's not in Gen 6. Remake, obviously, but it's not in Gen 6. It's not, I believe. I think it's Breloom is in the Fighting Friend area, but that's post-game. And I believe it's not in Gen 7, it's transferred from an older game. And now, you know, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are, you know, back, but it's a post-game Pokemon in those games anyway, so. Now GTS, it's easy to get one, but yeah, I can't use it in this game. So, you could theoretically do that. That could be fun, using GTS to get Pokemon that are cool. But the only issue is, I guess you could transfer over a Ditto and then breed each Pokemon once, so it's not getting the XP bonus. But because here's the problem with Brilliant Diamond Shine Pearls, the XP curve is one thing they did not fix. It's still bonkers and stupid. You get really over leveled easily, and then the level curve does this and just goes straight up, and all of a sudden you go over the course of like you're over leveled in the 6th gym, and I think you might still be in the 7th gym of Candace, maybe, but there's a jump there, and then when you do all the Mount Coronet stuff, you get another big jump, and all of a sudden you're under leveled for like Cyrus or whatever. It's like, what? But yeah, you probably won't want the trade boost from XP, so you probably have to trade things over in like a Ditto and breed. You don't have to have a good Ditto though. You can just have any Ditto. That doesn't matter. So maybe I'll try that sometime. I've got a team for Shining Pearl though. When I ever continue it, I haven't been streaming it though because I've been wanting to play. I've been shiny hunting this or want to play their games. Okay, let me read this chat real quick. I don't know. I'm thinking of how secondary types make the Pokemon all strong against each other, and I think it's cool. Yeah, that's and it's Gen 6 for the starters. Not obviously the regular starters do that, right? But Gen 6, the secondary types do as well, because grass and fighting grass is good against water, fighting is good against dark, Greninja water is good against fire, dark is good against psychic, and psychic is good against fighting, and fire is good against grass. Which that was something cool. It was neat seeing everything be a single type in this game, because it's been a little bit like since that we've had a lot of dual types. But I will say that I don't love the starters of this game all that much. I think Rillaboom is my favorite, but these aren't my favorite trio. Meganium regularly isn't. I've got a nice Meganium. I've got Typhlosion too in my Ruby playthrough. My Typhlosion, by the way, has a dump stat in defense. It's literally like 28, 30 defense right now and like level 40. Like, it's really low. Its defense is getting out leveled by level. But it's got really good other stats. My Meganium's really balanced all around. I used Meganium though in Sun and Moon. Or it was Moon. I somehow lost my team. I don't know how. Maybe I sent it to bank or whatever, and it accidentally died right if I didn't renew bank. But the I liked. I'm fine with the starters. I'm not sure how I look at the regular evolutions or the middle. The final evolutions and I guess the base ones are important. I don't like Sobble really at all. Score Bunny's fine and Grookey's fine. I don't really like the final evo's though. Cinderace is okay. I don't really like Inteleon. I like their stat lines because they're both very offensive like Greninja was, except I think they're more focused instead of mixed. Greninja's mixed speed, special attack and attack with high speed. These aren't, I'm not sure they're mixed, but I like the stat lines. And Rillaboom's really similar to Heracross's stat line if you look at Heracross's. So that's pretty cool. Like, I like that too. I like their stats, but I don't love them besides that. Okay. I'm just using that. Using this as an opportunity to check the eggs. Make sure I didn't forget a Axew. I think I did a tier list video on the starters. I like Charizard. I don't like Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur in Gen 6 and 7. That, the color, the saturation just really made me hate them. Barraskewda is cool. I leveled one of them up before I started EV training and everything, but then I learned how easy it is to EV train with the DLC. Oh, Weavile in Gen 4. It does not get Ice Punch and it does not get Icicle Crash. I think it gets Ice Shard as a move tutor move, and then you Avalanche as a TM. I think Avalanche is just a TM you get from Candlestick and learn that. And those are its ice moves in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and I was really upset at that. I want to use a Weavile in Black and White 2 next time I play through it. I've already got my team set up for that when I do it because I'm going to use a U-turn Volt Switch heavy team. What was the team? Can I think of it? Chandelure is on it, I think. I'm pretty sure Chandelure is there. And Magnezone is there. And Gliscor, Zoroark, Mienshao are there. And there's one other Pokemon that I was going to use, but I don't remember what it was. What type am I missing? It was probably a water type, if I had to guess. I don't know for sure, but I'd guess it was a water type. If I haven't, because I'm still missing one. Gliscor, Zoroark, Mienshao, Chandelure, Magnezone. I think I was going to switch out my starter for another Pokemon. Starmie, that's what it was. Starmie. Magnezone's Volt Switches, and the others, I think, get U-turn by level up is what it is. Because U-turn in that game is, it's a team you get from the Battle Subway, and I don't have time for that. But I was going to play on Challenge Mode, I thought it would be a fun team. More of my playstyle. I don't like, because I used in Black and White once it was Emboar, Gigalith, Scrafty, Electros, Scolipede, and Jellicent. And except for the Scolipede, everything was slow, and I hated that. Because I feel like especially like a Gigalith who did not have Sandstream at that point, pre-Sandstream Gigalith, weak to special attacks, so I go up against something I resist like a fire type, but I take a good amount of damage just because my special defense is so low, and then I take another hit because I'm slow, and then I'd attack, and if I didn't kill, then I'd take another hit, and then at that point I'm just taking a lot of damage. Duranitan, for example, right? Because Emboar and Duranitan are similar. Instead of a speed stat, Emboar has a special attack stat. It can go mixed, which is really cool because it's got a cool move pool. But, Duranitan switches out, and, then it kills something because it's got a really high attack stat. Or it's at least faster Sodok speeds, right? It takes a hit, and then if it doesn't kill, it takes another hit. But then it kills because it's fast. I really like Electros. That's a Pokemon that I'd use again. It wasn't on a good team overall, but I liked Electros a lot. It's cool that unless you're facing Mold Breaker, it's got Levitate and it's electric, so it doesn't have a weakness unless you're facing Mold Breaker. A really, really cool Pokemon. I believe I've got a cool Electros or Electric card. It's one of those ones that's not a full art, but it's the one from Gen 6 or 7 or whatever that I think it was Gen 7, where they had it was a regular card, but it covered up more of the page, right? More of the card. I've got an Electric or an Electros from that card. Anyway, the team sucked because it was too heavy. Too tanky. And, Duranitan comes in, takes a hit, has a high HP stat, so it's got some bulk to it. And then it either kills or it doesn't kill, takes another hit, and then it kills. Embor, switches and takes a hit, then it takes a hit, and then it attacks. And if it doesn't kill, it takes a third attack, which is one more than a Orangutan would. And then you just take a lot of damage, and I hate that. So I'm not a fan of teams that are too tanky. I like some tank though. Like pre-Gen 6, Magnezone's the best because you resist every single type except for your 3 weaknesses: fire, ground, and fighting. And then your 2 neutral is electric and water for steel type. But because Magnezone's an electric type, Magnezone is quad weak to ground. But again, you're already weak to it anyway, so it's not like you're going to stay in and try to fight a ground type. You're going to be switching out anyway. But Magnezone, right? You're quad weak to ground, but you resist electric because electric resists electric. And water, the other thing that is neutral, you hit it super effectively. Mold Breaker ignores abilities. So if you're a Haxorus with Mold Breaker, you would ignore your Levitate on Electros and then just hit it with an Earthquake. These actually have Mold Breaker, so we can easily look just to see. Quite a coincidence. Moves, can be used on the target regardless of its ability. So Electros has Levitate, so it has no weaknesses. But if you're facing something like Mold Breaker, like Haxorus or Excadrill, both of them are Mold Breaker Pokemon. They could both hit you with an Earthquake because Mold Breaker ignores abilities. Why are you standing to the side? There we go. So this bugs me when she's like not standing straight. Yeah, so Electros normally wouldn't have, weakness, but if it's against a Mold Breaker Pokemon, then it does have a weakness. It's weak to ground again. But that's only when it faces Mold Breaker Pokemon, so if it's not facing something with Mold Breaker, then Electros has no weaknesses, which is cool. I really like its stat line too, because it's pretty tanky. And I think it's got, okay, so we're going to take a quick little stop here, and I'm going to Google Electros to look at its stat line, because now I'm really curious. Electros. Okay, Cerebi, 604. So Electros has, it's base 50 speed, so it's pretty slow, but it's got 85 HP, 80 defense, 80 special defense, and 115 attack, 105 special attack. So it's got pretty good of both offenses, and it's pretty tanky because none of those defense stats are low, nor is its HP. They're all pretty good. So it's got good bulk, and good for both of its attacks, special and physical. Now, it's a Thunderstone evolution, so it's going to be, Electros is one of the Pokemon that's not in this game. But Electros is going to be in Scarlet and Violet, because I saw it in the trailer. When they showed that scene of the one trainer who had a bunch of Pokemon. They had Altaria and then Electros and a couple others. But I know Electros is in the game, which is exciting. I like Electros. But it's a Thunderstone, so it doesn't get, you have to level it up, to get its moves with Electric. But you get I think probably, given that Wild Charge does recoil damage, even though you got slightly higher physical attack, you go for not the strongest move, but you get Acid, a poison type move. Discharge, Crunch, Thunderbolt, 44. You can evolve to Electros after that if you want, unless you want Wild Charge, Coil, Acid Spray, or whatever. But Electros gets, good Dark move, good Electric move. Then also, though, it can learn Brick Break, Flamethrower through TM, Volt Switch, which is always nice. I like Volt Switch and U-Turn. They can get both of them, but Volt Switch, it's Electric type. Rock Slide, or it's just a TM. And also you get Dragon Claw, interesting coverage. So it's got some cool coverage moves. Hone Claws to set up physical attacks. I'm not sure if it can set up special attacks easily. And move tutor attacks. Aqua Tail, Drain Punch, Fire Punch, Giga Drain, Knock Off, Iron Tail, Super Fang, Super Power, Thunder Punch. I mean, it's just got a lot of really cool moves. So. Oh, yeah. Well, okay, see, I don't mind that as much. Because it really ends up, like, for this case, right? I don't think I have a hidden ability, but I've read some things with a hidden ability, and it just sometimes takes longer, right? Because if you're, depending on where you're starting, right, if you don't have good IVs to begin with and you're using the Ditto, then maybe you get a good one that's not the hidden ability, so you just have to wait a little bit longer till you get one. But the odds are you're gonna get one eventually. So it just makes it a little more tedious. But I think you generally get Pokemon with the hidden ability. Like if you're breeding with the hidden ability, you're more likely to get the hidden ability, like the ability that's being bred. It's like 50% or something. It's like 50, 25, 25, I think maybe. I might be totally wrong. But it's never been the worst for me when I've done that. No. What the worst thing is we're gonna have to go back to the party for this. When you breed the wrong ability. For example, we've got our nice and own tempo Petalil. Stops confusion. You know, ooh, how useful, especially where they nerfed confusion in this. Male perfect male Salandit. Ooh. Slowpoke's own tempo, and these two have Regenerator. I want to say what it was is this perfect one didn't get Regenerator, while these two did, so that was obnoxious. Soundproof, I think it's soundproof and bulletproof, so I don't know which one's as good, honestly, offhand. But the worst is when you breed the wrong ability, or that is Snow Warning. That's almost perfect. That's the worst. It's when it's the wrong ability. Sturdy. Gigalith has Sturdy naturally, so I know this Sturdy will stay as Sturdy. It's the other ability. I think it's Weak Armor becomes the Sandstream. So, ooh, there we go. I got the wrong ability on my Ruggernola. Hello, A Inhaler. Yeah, this is great for breeding. No, it's only female Salandit evolves. This is like Combi. This is a completely useless Pokemon except for breeding. It's great for breeding, though, because it's perfect. So I'm breeding 2 perfect Pokemon together. So I'm always going to get 5 perfect IVs. But, yeah, no. Sadly, that's completely useless, except for breeding. So, the other thing, though, in my case, right, is obviously I'm going to keep it for breeding. But I also got to make sure I go back to the right box, too. I've got to slant it here. I kept the very good defense one because, you know, I don't want to breed for too many females that take forever. But I had a lot. How many of these are perfect as I'm on it? Okay, so this is fantastic. So it's 5 perfect IVs and a 3 IV, which is almost perfect. Oh, I had Pokerus at one point. Perfect Lilligant. I did use the IV thing on this. Perfect Ninchao, perfect Darmanitan, perfect Sandslash. I know I went for the perfect Darmanitan. I'm not sure if I went for the perfect of these or if I just got it. That's a little bit... That could be better. I don't know why. I must have been just lazy when I leveled this Crocodile. I do prefer Moxie to Intimidate. They're both good. I got this off of GTS or something. So, woo. Fantastic. Perfect. Wait, I lost count. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 2 that are almost. This might as well be, because I got no attack. Very good speed is perfectly acceptable to me. Another one that's fantastic. I got perfect Axews now, a bajillion of them. Rhenoclus is also fantastic. Its attack could be worse, but no good speed, so great for Trick Room. Not that I run Trick Room. Another Grimmsnarl is perfect. That's cool. Miltank's perfect. That's awesome. I would love a shiny Miltank. I'm a big Miltank fan. And these are all perfect. I got this one a long time ago, I think. And I've been holding on to it. And I was like, okay, I'm finally going to level Klutzer. Because I never used Klutzer either. Klutzer's pretty cool. He's got his nice, pulse moves here. Perfect Pokemon Art is bad. Because if you've got a perfect Ditto, once you get to the 5 IV, then you're always going to get, good ones, right? Because it takes 5. So it could always take, the non-perfect IV from the other Pokemon. But, yeah, it could take a little bit, but it's not near as bad as like a shiny. It's not super difficult to get it perfect. The only thing you could argue, though, is you don't always care to have perfect because, like, for example, Foul Play does damage based off of your attack. So if you're a special attacker, you don't really need the perfect attack stat. It's honestly just a show-off, I could say I got a perfect Pokemon, and it's cool. I EV train everything. You know, and I've got IVs and all that. But I'm not playing competitively because I don't care about the timer. It's way too quick. And all my friends that play competitively aren't really playing competitively this gen because none of them find it fun as fun this gen. So. Oh, now male Salandit and Go though. See, Salandit's only in the Rocket Eggs and Go. So female Salandit's even harder because it's like a 1% instead of like the 12%. At least Salandit and Combi are reasonable. I need to get another Combi too. That's another one I'm off on because I had before again. I originally wasn't EV training and then I restarted and I stopped using all the Pokemon that I didn't EV train, including my main team, and started using the Pokemon that I did EV train. And I'm just choosing what Pokemon I want to do. So some of those Pokemon that I did have, you know, not, and of course I did this. I sat in this box and then those eggs went there. Thankfully, they didn't go any further. And I'll just move this back here, and then there we go. Like in this case, I've got I think 12 perfects because I've got the one that's there. I've got the 10 that are sitting there in that other box. Then I've got one that's being bred and one that's currently the placeholder in the box next to Cottony for leveling up purposes. When I get a shiny, I'll use that shiny. I know there's bottle caps and stuff. That's also something that I'm not used to using because I didn't use it last gen because I wasn't doing things. I'm actually fine with them not doing it because it makes sense for these Pokemon, you know? The male bees don't do anything, you know? Like, the male bees go and they're workers. And Salandit's the same type of thing, you know? It's the female. So, to me, it makes sense for them not to have male evolutions. You could do it, but I mean, if it's just a worker bee, then it makes sense for Combi just to be Combi and not evolve. And they're rare, too, the female versions. But, we're gonna go more box hunting. So, like, here's my, here's the former Pokemon. I had a Starmie leveled up. It's actually got pretty good IVs, but I've actually got a really good Starmie that's already ready to level up whenever I want to level up a water type. I do try to be balanced, too. So, like, these bottom 6 Pokemon are the last things I leveled up, for the most part. Or most of them. I think it was Clawitzer, Decidueye, Scolipede, and... Well, okay, check summary. Who was it? One of these wasn't, but the rest of them were. Probably all... Okay, 528, 520, 528, 528, 528, 722. This one was older, the Clawitzer. But I'm pretty sure I leveled up it and all but the Braviary. The Braviary was in that other set. I leveled up Noivern, Blaziken, Scolipede, you know, all these together. But now, you know, my lowest level Pokemon in my box that's like level is a water type, so I don't want to overload water types or anything like that. I try to keep a balance. I have noticed, though, that I've been leveling up to 70, and I think I probably should go back to 60 again. Because by the time I'm 70, things become I mean, I knew they weren't going to be a challenge anyway, but like when the Elite Four with Meowth for grinding purposes, that becomes easier and easier. So, you know, I probably should just level up to 60 again. 70 is probably a bit too much. They'll get to 70 eventually. But anyway, I tried to balance it out. So it's like why I will probably not be leveling up Starmie next in my next set, because like I just leveled up a water type, and it's also a special water type at that. But yeah, I just like using Pokemon. I don't like high stress. I just like using my Pokemon. So leveling them up and then, you know, having switch training or because I can access the box anywhere, right? So just going up to like that obstacle over there and taking in whatever fighting type and using it, and then everything gets XP. And then, you know, every boss Pokemon, you know, I can go over here and be like, okay, let me go get my Passimian out. And then I switch it out and I go grab a grass type like Decidueye, and then Decidueye fights this, and then I get to use my Pokemon. I leveled up in a stress-free environment. And then I just kind of take what I want into the Elite Four, because if you don't do a good team, then you do have a good challenge. Sometimes it's, you know, you put in a good team and it's really good, and then it's not a challenge, but... Or all your, like, really, really high-level ones. You know, if it was Jolteon and Mienshao that are, like, you know, 90-ish, at this point, or 80, 90-ish at this point. And I forgot to move that out of my party. Of course I did. Then, it is easier. But if it's, if my team isn't as balanced, or, oh, wow, look, I didn't put an electric or grass type on my team, and I face Nessa round 1, it gives a bit more of a challenge. That's the only thing I wish. I wish there was a non-competitive, like, Battle Tower-esque game mode that also just had high levels, So I could get a challenge that's not too stressful. Because I don't like stress. You already have a lot of things that stress you out. You don't need your games to stress you out. That's my take. That's why I don't like the Battle Tower and all that. Oh, another egg right away. I've never been a big Battle Tower. Like, I want the Battle Frontier to come back, but I'm not a big proponent. Like a lot of people, what was it? I had some take. I think it was like Platinum. I think it was Platinum. I have lower on my Pokemon game tier list. And a lot of people, like, the argument was, but the Battle Frontier is like, I don't play the Battle Frontier. I don't give a fuck about the Battle Frontier. Like, I'm glad it's in the game, and I think it's cool, and I want it to come back because I know a lot of people like it, but I don't play the Battle Frontier. I don't play these, the really competitive ones where, you don't have your items or anything like that. Like, I don't play any of those. So, I don't care about, like, the Battle Frontier doesn't add anything for me personally. It's cool. I wish it was in, because the more features, the better. But, like, that's why I don't do the Arena and Fire Emblem Heroes. Like, I do enough Arena. Like, I do my basic Arena, but I don't try to up a tier past 18. I've done it once, I think. I think is what I do is I go between 17 and 18, basically. Or, yeah, I think that's what it is. I go between 17 and 18. Because if I'm in 18, I go down to 17 always. But if I'm in 17, I always go up to 18. But because you also have the point system, so if you don't have high enough rated units, then you don't get max points, and then you could do everything perfectly to get max points, but you don't get max points because you're both, things aren't there. But people in those tiers have these totally loaded units with tons of broken skills. I don't have that. I either have newer units that already have good kits, or I have old units that I haven't invested a lot into because I don't have the greatest luck, so I don't have a lot of extra skill fodder. I like getting characters, so if I get a character, I'm not going to fodder my only one of them off for a new skill. And if I get 2, I like to merge, honestly, first, so I don't have a Bane, especially if I've got a good boon. So, that's another thing that really stresses me out. But anything like that's extra stress is not needed, especially when school's in, season. If I'm going to classes, I don't need any extra stress. Like, I play competitively for fun against friends, battle them. But they're not doing that this game for good reason, because the timer's stupid. Forcing everybody to use the VGC timer. Or, time limits. That's what I don't get, is why would they take that out? You don't have to take that out, If I want to battle my friend within a limited time, let me battle my friend within a limited time, and don't force me to have, force us to have short time limits. That's just stupid. Don't take out options. That's one thing I like about the newer games, though, is general. They give quality of life features. That's another thing, too, is, like, it's not stressful. One of the most annoying things with the game is, like, Shining Pearl, right, has the stupid level curve. And, yeah, I had a 14 Pokemon team, and I was over-leveled with all... Well, okay. 14 in quotations, because my Weavile I ditched because it got shitty ice moves. And that was, like, half the point of Weavile. And then I had Dialga on my team, and I did kind of use it a little bit at the end of the game. It wasn't part of my Elite Four team, but I used it a bit. So I'd bring like 13 Pokemon, and they were all over leveled until like that sharp level curve comes in at the very end of the game, and then all of a sudden all of them were under leveled by like 5 or 6 something levels to the champion, like, or maybe 10 levels of the champion. I didn't need to get up all 10 levels back, but the champion's ace is like 58 or 60 or something like that, and I'd level to like 54 or something like that, so I'm on par. But I had a 13 Pokemon team. I did that. But in the older games, now the Underground Air and Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl have some evolutions. So, while some Pokemon, it's easier to level up. Yes, we can. While it's easier to level up, certain things like the water types would always kill the Houndooms and the Gravelers or whatever else. easier for them to get XP against those types of Pokemon. Post game, you get even more Pokemon and more evolutions. It's easier to grind. But before then, you had some evolutions, so it wasn't the worst grinding experience. In Gen 7 and 6, you had an EXP share that you could actually turn on and off instead of it automatically being on. The problem with Diamond Shining Pearls, the levels didn't scale. It was good that it was there. Early game, the XP share made it scale too much, but then the level curve took off so sharply that even the XP share on, it didn't matter. Unless I tightened up my team. If I tightened up my team at the end of the game, maybe it would have helped. But I had used 13 Pokemon. I wasn't going to stop using 13 Pokemon because the level curve did this, I just decided before the Elite Four which ones I was going to focus on. Anyway, Gen 7, if you got underleveled in Gen 6 or 7, you just turned the XP share on until you got back on par and it was fine again. And then turn it back off so you're not overleveled. Gen 5 with Audino. Before Gen 5 with Audino, pain in the ass to grind. It's part of the reason why I like with the randomizers, and I can just, it's much easier to grind because there's a speed up button. But I hate that the DS emulator doesn't have as quick of a speed up button. But I would like to do Platinum and Black and White too. The question is randomized stats or not, because I feel like Pokemon generally have better stat lines. So it might be harder to get Pokemon that more. It's easier to make Pokemon better in Gens 3 and 2 because the physical special split. So Kingler has a high attack stat and now suddenly has a bad special attack stat, and its special attacks, water type, its primary typing isn't really as good. But, in new games, you have the physical special split, so most of Kingler's moves are actually physical. So having a Kingler that got moved to special attack isn't really all that anything's, helping it really. So, but it'd still be fun. You get more variety and stuff. I gotta fine tune my randomization method though. I might want to try to do starters that are regular, so I get Mankey and stuff like that. But I don't want evolutions. So that's the problem. But doing only 3 stage kind of limits you from a starter perspective. What's the SOS chaining and what is that even? Because I'm talking Gens 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Well, not really Gen 1. Gen 2, 3, and 4, but I'm pretty sure that's before Gen 2, and I don't know about any types of chains that you can do until post-game. I think there might be those things where you use the item or whatever, and the grass shakes around you or something like that. What the heck? But I'm pretty sure those things are all post-game, or are they not? Because I can tell you right now, I don't remember any type of easy level up mechanic pre-Gen 4 for the main story. I don't care about post-game story. I mean, okay, I also like leveling up against different Pokemon too. If I'm just battling, it's not fun battling the same thing over again. Yeah, I mean, I was saying Gen 6. Yeah, no, Gen 7. I do that in post game for Chanseys. But in the regular main story, if you get under leveled, you can just turn the XP share on for a bit, and then your levels will get back up because everything's getting XP, and then you can turn it off when you're back on par. You don't have to grind ever in that game, but you can still not be over leveled. Unless if you keep it on the time, you will. But if you don't keep it on all the time, you'll never be over leveled. You can just turn it on when you need it. You don't have to grind, is what I'm saying. I'm saying in Gen 3, 4, 3 and 4 especially, and Gen 2 as well. I don't play Gen 1. There's no grind. You have to grind, actually grind, and it's against wild Pokemon, which give you less XP, or it's trainer Pokemon that aren't evolved, because they don't evolve and get higher levels until you beat the game. The Pokénav, for example, in Gen 3. All those trainers you fight don't really have evolved Pokemon, or they don't go past 30 until you beat the game. So you're fighting a bunch of trainer Pokemon, or it's a bit higher level wild Pokemon. But if you're got a fire type, right, you can't just fight Gravelers all day and Golbats or whatever is in Victory Road, because you're not good against them. So basically, it's a pain in the ass to grind in those games, and the speed up button helps that. But if I was going to randomize, because I don't want to randomize Pokemon types and moves and all that, because then it'd be hard to keep track of everything, Unless if I kept track of it, it'd become tedious. But if I didn't keep track, then it'd just be really random and alarming when, oh my gosh, is Zigzagoon's flamethrower, what the hell, That did not help my throat. I also changed SOS chain it on. in Gen 7 post game, because yeah, at that point that is the easiest, because you easily get the most XP by just chaining Chansey over and over again in that one area. But at the same time, it gets boring to grind in that game because it's just XP chaining Chansey. You can download a randomizer, and it works for all the gens up through 5. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't know much about 3DS emulators and all that and ROMs, but for the older games I do that. I've got, like, I own every Pokemon game or every main series game, but I do it just for fun because I can play through a game quickly and not spend a lot of time on it because there's a speed up button in the emulator. Both of the emulators, the DS and the Game Boy one. It's faster in the Game Boy one, a lot faster. It takes a lot more time than the other one. But was I playing Platinum? Did I have a randomized thing of Platinum? Anyway, I want to randomize things so it's still sane. So moves get randomized. Not moves. Moves do not get randomized. Items get randomized. Abilities get randomized. And now with Gen 3, I've been randomizing stats just to spice it up. You know, see what I can get. I like randomness, but I don't want it to be chaotic. Because if all of a sudden I've got a grass fire Chinchou shooting out ice beams, you know, like, well, what? Like, what the heck? That's too chaotic. As I said, if I try to make a note thing and keep track of that, like every Pokemon, you know, and what its type is or what its types could be, it would become, maybe I'd be in the mood for that sometime, but it'd become very tedious. And you could do that with move power and all that too. Randomize move power and accuracy and all that. I'm not sure how much I'd want to do that though. I don't know. That I feel like just randomizing moves and move types and Pokemon types is a little bit too much. Stats isn't too bad though. Because generally, you're super effective, you're good, you know? But it's cool when you get a Pokemon that gets a cool... Like, for example, in Crystal, my Ursaring, its stats got randomized to... It was essentially a glass cannon. Yeah. No, Fury Cutter. I had, like, a base, like, 90 power Fury Cutter in Leaf Green one time from, like, I think it was a Venomoth. It was a Venomoth with a Fury Cutter that was base, I forget if it was totally busted, if it was like a ground or poison type or you know, something where there is at least a immunity to it for like a Pokemon. But no, Fury Cutter gets better every time. So it was base 90 Fury Cutter that already was really strong. It got better every time you used it. It was absolutely broken. Completely insane. But you can get really cool things, right? Like, for example, slacking. You can also ban bad abilities, so nothing gets randomized out like Truon. But slacking, you get Slack-Offs. Like, I've had it multiple times. In Leaf Green, it was my Magikarp, and then in another game, I found it somewhere else, you know. Because Slack-Off is basic, and I like how, I did it so it's global and it's similar strength. So it's weak Pokemon become weak Pokemon in the wild. But, you know, slacking, you Slack-Off. And now Slack-Off, even with regular stats, just loses Truon. So you've got a, you know, a Pokemon with, like, legendary-based stats, you know, that just hits like a truck. But my Ursaring in Crystal, it got randomized to having, it was like a glass cannon, kind of. Not a glass cannon. It was like a Berserker on Fire Emblem, or like Darmanitan. It had very high HP and very high attack. But instead of high speed, it had high special defense. But its defense, special attack, and speed were all poor. But its special defense was the 4th highest of any stat on my team. Lantern's special attack was my 3rd highest, and that's great for Lantern, right? Because it's water electric, both special special types. Ursaring's attack and HP were the 2 highest stats on anything. So I had an Ursaring that could put off like spam, stab, strengths, and like shadow balls as well, and just hit really, really hard. It was really cool. And like the Seeking, I said, right? High glass cannon. Terrible everything, but very high special attack and speed. So, that's the fun of randomizing stats, especially the older games where there's a physical and special split. But you can get fun things like that, you know, where a Pokemon could just get better. A bad Pokemon can get good, or a good Pokemon can get even better. My Spheal, I think, has low physical attack and low speed or something like that. Or it's like low defense, but it's got high attack and special attack. It's not really gonna. Well, it gets body slam at some point though, doesn't it? Yeah, I believe Sealer or Spheal or Walrein gets like body slam. So actually, that's not too bad because body slam is a good move. No complaints about body slam. But you get a randomizer and you can randomize. It randomizes a lot of different things. I know there's some randomizers that do like colors or shinies or something like that. But the one I use doesn't do that because I'm not looking. I don't really care for that. I just want to play a Pokemon game and be able to speed up through it a little bit, and have it be a little spiced up a bit than normal games, you know. And I try to use a bit different Pokemon, either things I haven't used before, or things that might not normally be in the game, or maybe just Pokemon that the randomizer made them better. The only thing to be careful about is stones. If you randomize items, except for Leaf Green and Fire Red, you can buy stones. But you can trade for stones if you get shards in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. So, or at least Ruby and Sapphire. So if you get a stone or you get a shard, that's a stone. There's a stone then, or if it's a shard, it's a stone later in the game. But you have to be careful of that because if you can't bank on just getting a water stone or a blue shard. If you don't get one, then you can't evolve your Staryu or your Poliwag. You know, so. The thing is, though, most of those stone Pokemon are in Leaf Green and Fire Red. So Leaf Green and Fire Red, I'm more inclined to say, well, I can use this in regular Leaf Green and Fire Red. Let me use something different that I normally wouldn't be able to use because it's, you know, not a Gen 1 Pokemon. You know, like maybe Carvana. That's a water type, right? Maybe I want to use Carvana instead of Poliwag because Carvana is something I wouldn't normally get access to in Leaf Green and Fire Red. But in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, when those Pokemon you don't get normally, well, you get Oddish normally, but you know, Bellsprout, Staryu, and Vulpix, you know, those, you know, aren't normally in that game, so they're more interesting to use, right? But you can't guarantee you get a stone. If you don't get a stone or a shard, you can't evolve them at any point. And even then, it's Moss Deep City, which is before the 7th gen, so at that point, if you got a Growlithe still, it's probably falling behind. There are some things you can battle with against it. And if you just held on to it, and then once you got the Firestone, you know, then you started leveling up and grinding it. You can grind it still pretty quickly because it's an emulator. But I know people do like mod switches or switch games, right? Because that's how you have to do the you know those YouTubers like Shady Penguin's doing it right now, where it's like, you know, we fuse these Pokemon, which I first, you know, it felt like it didn't seem like something that was like my style to watch, you know. I was like, all right, I mean, this looks kind of cool, but I'm not sure how I feel about it, you know. It wasn't something that I had to see. And then I watched one of them and I was like, okay, this is actually really neat. Really, really neat. But like those you have to mod in some way, you know, your Switch or hack it. I know there's like randomized Fire Emblem stuff, but like for the 3DS I think you'd have to like homebrew or whatever. So I haven't done that. Can I just get the shiny already, please? So we said box 13 was 540. So this was 540, so this is 570. So when I finish this box, this will be 560. Or no, not 560. This will be 600. About. I just want to move on. I just want to play another game, but I don't want to stop this until I've gotten it. It's one that, like, I've gone far enough that I have to. The worst part is, though, I think I counted that I've probably bred about 200 Pokemon since that Reuniclus is shiny. So I bred up 200 Pokemon-ish without getting a shiny, and then almost 600 Axews. So really, since my last shiny, most of them are Masuda Method too, because I've got two Dittos. One's Spanish and one's Japanese. So I make sure to always Masuda Method. Anything that is Asian descent, I breed with the Spanish one, and anything that's European or American, I do with the Japanese, just to be extra cautious. So basically, all the stuff is Masuda Methoded. And even if some of that isn't, I've still gotten 600 with the Axews here, almost nearly 600. I remember a Training Tips video on the Pokemon Go shiny odds, and for those Pokemon, they're like 1 in 450, at that point, it's only like a 60% chance you'd actually get one of those in the 1 in 450, right? So something along the lines of that, where I know that I'm probably, if it's 500, 500, 1 in 500 odds, by 500, it's probably roughly like a 50% chance I get it. And then the more you get after that, I assume by 1,000, if it's 50-50, that's probably 75% at the very least. If you hatched 1,000, it's 1 in 500 odds, because it wouldn't be 100%. I don't think it'd go all the way up to the 99th percentile just from that. But it'd probably at least be like 75 or something. That'd be my guess. I'm just guessing on odds, but I know I'm definitely over the 50% mark, I think, at this point, where probably 50% of people have an Axew at this point with a 1 in 500. Sadly, I'm not in that group. If I didn't really have the urge to play like Arceus or Breath of the Wild, then I would be as annoyed. But because I really want to play Arceus or Breath of the Wild, now I'm like, because I feel like it's keeping me from those games. Because the other thing I don't want to do is go play those games, and when I'm like, okay, I want to play Sword again. And maybe it's not for a while. Maybe with Scarlet and Violet coming out, I get Scarlet and Violet in a few months, because it's August. They come out in November, so about 3 months. Maybe they come out in 3 months, and I don't even worry about Sword and Shield, because there's another new game out. But I don't want those to go totally to the wayside. I guess probably we'll see on Pokemon, because some of these Pokemon that are just added in the Gen 4 National Dex, like Magcargo, right? That's the thing I want to level up. There's a Magcargo, yeah, I'll probably level up in Scarlet and Violet instead of, this Diamond and Pearl. Okay, yeah, I'm starting to get a bit tired. It's 11? Yeah, 11. Good night. Hopefully I get it soon. I don't know how long I'm going to keep streaming. I want to finish this box, at least. Okay. What was I talking about before that? Oh yeah, games. I don't want to have to come back to this like, oh yeah, I bred 600 Axews and didn't get anything for it, So I gotta get something. I think I'll finish out this box at the very least. I know we got through at least 2 boxes. We started 3 rows. We started 2 rows into box 13. So after this, it'll be about 2.5 boxes once I get to the end of this box. Yeah. So box 13, this was the first one. So it's been 2 boxes and a row and a half. Once we finish this, it'll be 2.5 boxes. And that'll be, this is, 15 is the 600th. About. Because when I checked home, we were almost at the end of box 13. And that was 540. So 570 is box 14. Box 15 is 600. I just want to get it soon. Give it to me soon and I'll be happy. Nope. Not a shiny. It'll be worth it though. When I get it, it'll be like, I got this. I've never shiny hunted before. I know people who have, but I've never done it myself. The only thing I got shiny from breeding was, well, before the Reinforce, was a Wonder Trade in Gen 6. I just thought Wonder Trading was fun, and I was like 14. And I just bred a bunch of random Sandiles because I didn't want to catch Pokemon. So I was like, I'll just breed Pokemon and get a bunch of eggs, and then, Wonder Trade those off instead of just catching a bunch of things. And I got a shiny Sandile. I don't think there was any Masuda method. I think it was just 2 Sandiles that I had that I bred. I think they're just both that I caught. And I don't think there was, definitely didn't have the shiny charm. So it was a complete full-on Sandile. It's pretty sweet. Sandow's like top 5 Pokemon that evolution line is for me, so I should do another tier list on the Pokemon, not the types, but Pokemon in a type. The thing that held me back from doing another one. Whoops, I didn't mean to click that. If I go to my content page real quick and I look at Pokemon. Come on, Creator Studio, load for a second, please. Pokemon. That typed in R by accident. Whoops. I look at Pokemon. That last tier list tanked really hard. It was a lot shorter too. I was thinking maybe a shorter video, people more inclined to go through it, and one person went all the way through it, but except for that one person, and a second person who popped in every now and then, I mean, every single viewer was gone by like 30 seconds in. And I'm not gonna lie, when every single viewer is gone from your video after 30 seconds and only one person watches through, and not a lot of people generally watch through those videos fully sometimes, because it's not what my channel started with. I'm still primarily a Beyblade channel. But anyway, when it's one person out of all the viewers, when there's a lot of views and then one person goes through and watches, and not really one person pops in every now and then, it doesn't have much motivation for me to go back through it, because then I'm just like, okay, well, if I do my rank a tier list every rock type, it's just gonna be the same thing where I get like 10 views. I'm like everything for views, but like there's a point where it's like, is this even worth it? It's one of those things that I want to do things I like, and I want to do more than just Beyblade, but is it worth it to upload a tier list video, even if it's like something easy? It's an easy type of video that I can talk about a certain topic, or in this case, certain Pokemon of a type. I like Pokemon, obviously, but is it super worth it if it's gonna tank completely? I don't know. Maybe I need to try another one and see how it does. Oh, that'd be fun though, because in the my old Discord server, people would put in like tier lists. And then tier lists. There was one person, it was Iron Spider, was his name, and he tier list and put in, everything. So I thought it would be fun for YouTube, but it did really bad. I mean, not even a multiple, except for that one person watched it all the way through. Only one person even checked different points of the tier list. So out of all the 13 viewers, 11 of them didn't ever watch past the 13-second mark. I didn't even see, the finished tier list. They didn't even skip to the end of the finished tier list. So, I was like, was not even worth it. And since then, I really sucked with tier lists. Although I was doing Beyblade lists, though. I thought about doing a Beyblade tier list and maybe it'd do well or something, because it's Beyblade and more in my channel audience, but I don't know. Okay. Getting close to the end of this box. Only a few things left. I got a friend who keeps saying he wants to stream, but I don't think I've ever seen him stream. He should do it sometime. You just gotta start. I mean, I got my reasons for not streaming often, and most of it has to do with just baseball. I want to watch baseball. I do know I also have audience too, like in Europe, for like Beyblade, when it comes to at least Beyblade. So I know some people won't be able to make it, but I different people can come at different times of the day. So that doesn't bother me as much. Those people are primarily Beyblade subscribers as far as I'm aware too, so it's not like I would expect, a lot of turnout. I always expect less for a stream like this. The trying to make streams haven't been as bad, actually. There are times like this, right, where nobody's active in the chat, so I'm like, I kind of wish I could just take a break and not talk a lot. My throat a bit hurts a little bit. Okay, I'm almost at the 2-hour mark too. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stop shiny hunting, but I might take at least. I might stop after the 2-hour mark, or about the 2-hour mark, because we're about at the end of this box. I need to get more stockpile of eggs. I mean, it's definitely hard to. It's hard to talk for 2 hours straight. I could see why streamers, you know. I mean, it's difficult to stream. There was a big argument that one time about streamers and YouTubers, which job is harder. It's like, why can't you just say both are hard, you know? It's hard to consistently be talking and interacting with the chat. I mean, I know a lot of the streamers who stream full time will do that thing where they eat and watch a video and then don't actually, you know, do anything with the video, you know, or on their phone or whatever. I can see how they need a break. I mean, I agree with the YouTubers on that, where it's like, that's not even fair use, you know? If you're not even, like, reacting to it, really. But, yeah, both jobs are hard. I do agree. I do tend to agree that, like, go offline for, like, 30 minutes and eat, and then come back. Or have the, we'll be back soon or whatever for, like, 30 minutes or something. If you're allowed to do that with terms of service. And let's see. Nope. It's definitely a test of patience. It's like, you know, is this even worth it? I got a bunch of perfect ones. You know, is it worth it? If Axew's rivalry is worth it? Oops. Back over to this box. Make sure it's putting everything in this box. Okay. It's about 3 minutes away from the 2 hour mark. And we've hatched about 2.5 boxes worth of eggs. Which is about 75. About 75 eggs. Hatched 600 total. Not all of them are on stream, but 600 total. You could see the boxes. I mean, I counted them up earlier. You can rewind if you want. Oh yeah, I need to go back this way. Go ahead and hit the seismic too. I don't want to despawn. I like looking at the Pokemon. Maybe I'll do that if it's a bear tick though. Or not bear tick, a beware. I'm gonna be honest, beware creeps me out. I don't like it. Maybe if I stop streaming, I'll like keep recording so I get like a shiny. I'd like to be able to get a shiny reaction, you know. If I can, that'd be cool. And help. Oh, that's perfect. This is the first perfect today. I think the odds are definitely higher because I've got 2 perfect IV things, right? So it's a 1 in 31 chance because there's an IV of up to 0 is the least and 31 is the highest. So I guess that's technically 132. So it's technically a 1 in 32 chance of getting a perfect. It took me over twice that to get this one. Not too far, folks. So that is 14 total perfects now. Because one's here and one's being bred with. Let's bred that egg. That's the other thing now when counting up like the Pokemon, you know, that I've bred is I gotta count up the lucky ones too, and I've probably had a few off of GTS. before, but I gotta count up all the perfect ones too. You know, I brought I started with two rows in box 13, so I needed to do 3 rows to finish it. But I have almost that. I've got at least 2 rows. You know, I've got over 2 rows, and I thought armor was going up. I got 2 rows and perfects. We've hit the 2-hour mark. Yay! It's one of my goals too. As I try to stream for a while, I think it's just good practice. You know. Thanks, Crystal Wolf. I hope I get it soon. Said it earlier. I want to be able to move on to a different game. I don't want to leave myself here though, because I think that'd be bad. If I come back and be like, oh, you know, maybe I don't want to shine hunt anymore, well, then I just did 600 Axews for no reason. So I mean, like, I gotta get it, you know. But I'm just so ready to play something else. I kind of want to play a bit of Mario Kart, you know, with the new DLC coming out. I love Mushroom Gorge, and the gap jump is here. There's a cool shortcut on the Sky High Sunday. There's also all those tracks are good. There's a shortcut on Snowline too. Okay, what the hell does that have to do with this stream? No, okay. Yeah, and then I really want to play Legends and Breath of the Wild. I've been feeling those games recently. It's been a while since I've played out of them, because that's what I do. I cycle through games. I play one game for a while, and then switch to another game, play it for a while. Yeah. Let's see. I don't have moderators, so I guess, no, we're not getting things about politics. I'm sorry. I don't care. This is a shiny hunting stream, not we're talking about free speech. I don't know what Bolton's shiny looks like, you know? There's some where it's like, well, this is a cool shiny anyway. I don't know what Bolton's looks like. I know Cottony, or roughly know Cottony, you know, offhand if I think about it. Actually, Cottony's the last thing I leveled up. Before I started shining Axew, I think I was going to level up a Tauros. I was going to level up, I think, a Corsola and, like, something else. I don't remember what, honestly, at this point. But I did breed Cottony before this. I forgot how long it took me to get going. That's gotta suck though if you wanted Cottony and then you got something else. I hate Bolton too. I used one in my regular playthrough and it was totally fine. But it's when they're in the Isle of the Crown Tundra, in the wild they're fast in the grass and they chase you and it's really annoying. And my one in game had a 0 attack IV. Like literally, it was when I was able to look at IVs and looked at my team. It and my Surfetch both had no attack. No good attack IVs. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm shining with this method though because A, Masuda method, but also I'm in the shiny charm. But I've got the IVs, you know, I've got a good Axew now. And I got perfect Ditto, so I might as well, you know, go for IVs. If I ever, for some reason, you know, do anything competitively or whatever, or transfer to a newer game, right? If it's still on the Switch, you probably can transfer up from Sword and Shield. Well, you can probably transfer up from Sword and Shield to Scarlet and Violet at some point. They'll allow that, you know? So I'll be able to move everything up. Maybe Scarlet and Violet doesn't have a stupid timer. That's tiny. That'd be nice. So, might as well do this. It's like shiny hunting a starter though, or legendary. Though that A-Drive clip, first encounter shiny Palkia, is legendary. I liked the Patty Trills and Game Boy Luke though. X and Y co-op where they had what was it, the gym leader, whatever her name is, Viola, was about to send an Palkia, you know, and you know, I don't know if I was like first encounter shiny, and then when she sends it out, you know, they both like totally lose it as if it was a shiny. That was really funny. That was a great let's play. Or that was a great let's play or playthrough. Pouty Trills is really funny. Okay, so my history of shinies is I've got nothing in my party, right? Yeah, okay. I got a Paris in gold. Battery ran dry, so it's dead. I don't have a Paris anymore. I got a Golbat in Sapphire, and I evolved that. It was in the Cave of Origin, and I evolved into Crobat. Then the next thing that I got shiny was, I mentioned this earlier, I was breeding things, there's no competitive value here. It was 2 random things I had in my box, 2 random Sandiles. I was like, I'm just going to breed some Sandiles and Wonder Trade them off, and I got a complete full odds shiny Sandile. Nothing special with IVs or anything, full odds shiny Sandile. And that's currently I think it's in Y still, it might be an X, but I think it's in Y. Yeah, because me and my friend started playing X, so it's not my X playthrough. I was thinking about using it, but I've got it in a Y. And then after that, in this game, I've got a shiny Reuniclus. I got a shiny Reuniclus, which I bred. This is it. I like it. It's bluish. It's a nice color. And I also got in this box shiny Serena. This was in the wild. I was just randomly running around. I found this. I was like, oh man, I gotta get this, and I'm glad I got it. This is pretty cool. It's not anything I've used though, because you know it's random, you know, in the wild, so it's not, you know, bred or anything, but it's still pretty cool, you know, nice to have. Then sometime probably before I got both of these, honestly, but in an older game, I was playing Ultra Moon, and I hadn't played in a while, and I was doing the wormhole thingy because I was like, this was always fun, and it's been a while since I did this. And honestly, I only did it a little bit, and I leveled a few things up, I think, and then I stopped. And I touched it one time since, where I leveled something up a little bit too, and then I stopped again. But I got through the wormhole a shiny Mega, which was really cool. Then I was at my friend's house, and I played Soul Silver. I was like, I've never beaten Soul Silver. I need to beat Soul Silver, so I'm going to play Soul Silver. And I was at my friend's house, and I forgot if I'd slept over there or if I just come over to drop off something. It was in the morning. But all of a sudden, I'm trying to find a Geodude with a good nature. That's all I want is, like, you know, not bold or whatever, where it's minus attack. Not a minus defense nature. You know, I want minus speed, minus special attack, maybe minus special defense even. You know, just something that's good, or at least neutral. You know, not a debilitating nature. And all of a sudden, there is on... I think, what color is this? Is green? Is like a... Is the Pokemon I'm thinking of green? It was a, I can check real quick, so I might as well. If I go to Generation 1 Kanto, it was a... Is it orange or is it green? What's the color? It's green. A very light green. All of a sudden, there was a random Rattata that was shiny. And I was like, oh, I got really, really excited. I was like, whoa, because I was not expecting a shiny Rattata. I mean, that was like super, super random. But I got shiny Rattata, and that was cool. And I think that's it. I think those 7, Paris Golbat, Sandile, Serena Reuniclus, Yanmega, and Rattata. I think those are the only shinies I've gotten. I've gotten like random ones off of Wonder Trade and stuff, right? My Dittos are shiny, but you know those weren't mine. I think that's it. I've got a bunch of shinies in Go, and I've thought about, like, you know, would it be worth moving them over? But at the same time, like, they wouldn't be IV. They wouldn't have IVs, and that's my big thing in this game. Is, you know, we've got good IVs on these Pokemon, so maybe put them in Diamond Pro, or doesn't matter. But it might be a good idea to transfer some shinies over from Go and put them into like Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, where IVs aren't really. It's not important because I'm not IV bringing in that game or anything. That'd be cool. And I accidentally left Pokemon. I also somehow got off track with where they are. Okay. I think that's it for the shinies though. Those 7. I'm trying to think. As much as I played Black and White and Black and White 2, I put a lot of time into those games. I like them a lot. I don't think I've gotten a shine either of those. I got Pokerus and Brilliant Time of Shining Pearl, which is really random. I got Pokerus in this game too. And I got it into my emulator when I randomized. My Ruby somehow got Pokerus. It's like, what are the odds of that? But I don't have one in that game. I've got one, it's a Tangela and Arceus. I haven't done a lot of like actual shiny hunting though in that game. So I know there's methods and it's a lot easier to get shiny Pokemon, but I don't have any. Except for that Tangela. But I haven't really tried. I've just kind of leveled things up and stuff. Played really casually. I probably should, what I need to do is level up more Pokemon so I've got a more balanced team and I can switch things out if I need to. Yo, it's morning for you? Okay, I know you're way off time zone for me. Okay, good morning. It's 11:20 for me, PM. It's quite late. Figure you might as well stream a little bit longer. I just want give me the shiny Axew, please. Please, please, please. I want to stop. That's all I want. Shiny hunting really is the definition of insanity. You do this over and over and over again and nothing changes. I've bred over 600 Axews and I do not have a shiny Axew at this point. I just want it so I can stop. I can play another game. I was on my game cases because I used to put for my Beyblade thumbnails my No Game No Life 0 and a book cover. But because the book's paperback, I decided I wanted to stop using the book. But now I'm having trouble because the last batch of thumbnails, all the covers kind of seemed like dark. You know, like the colors weren't really shining or anything as well. I couldn't find Arceus' cover, and I don't know where it was. And I turned over my room and I made it messy, trying to find it, and I couldn't find it. And then I went downstairs and I told my mom, I was like, I can't find it anywhere. It's like, the only thing is like, if I got some out on here, like, where would you put it? And she's like, with the movies and stuff. And I checked downstairs for the movies and stuff, and it wasn't there either. And then I looked in the one thing where there are some movies. Where is it sitting? Right there. I was like, yep, should have known. I should have checked that sooner before turning over my room. Trying to find 2 colors that look good together of some type of thing, and use that. Because that's what I need. I need 2 colors that look good together. I shifted the hue entirely. I've done that before. If you've seen any of the color shift, if you saw any of the 64-bay tournament, I did that for every single battle in that. And also one of the BOB episodes. It was the one before the standard CBT. Because I used, it was the one where everybody faced, Jerry had his Balrog Gyarados, he entered into the BOB, and me and Wolborg had defense combos, and somebody else I think had a defense combo, or was another attack combo, somebody else had something. So I was like, let's just do everybody against Jerry. Which one was that? Let's check. I shouldn't have exited out of the content tab that opened up before. Let's look here. It was it 4? My guess is 4. 5 is Toxicquid. Yeah, 4. Battle of the Bladers 4. I did the same thing. And if you go back to limited format CBT, the one Pingu one, 12. The one the Pingu one. There's an alternate version of Ethan versus Double Battle Bros. And that. Where Double Battle Bros has a bright green Capricorn, and Ethan has a beautiful red, that's like the same shade as the blue is, red Harusius. But I figure, I mean, it doesn't really matter what color my arm is. You know, if my arm turns purple, who cares? I actually did color correction on it because the bays themselves and the upper part of the camera were green, and I didn't want that because everything looks greenish. So I made the greens a bit light, toned them down a bit, so not my arm, or not my arm, but the bays won't be green. That still meant my arm was purple. Maybe made it a bit more purple, but who cares? It's my arm. This is a Beyblade battle. It also makes the colors look a little bit different too, because the lights around the stadium go from the red, orange. I feel like the yellow blends in with the orange, honestly, and the red. Purple, blue, and green. Different colors. You end up having, I think this one provided like a color, a green, an aqua color, and then like a blue and purple or something like that. I think the reds and the orange both look purple. And the purple looked blue, I think. And then there's some that was green, and there's some that was aqua. Not sure what those were, though. I'd have to, like, actually go over to my computer and, like, move the scale and see what color becomes what, you know? I mean, they all go through every color at some point. It's just, they're different. You know, if you look at the 64-bay tournament, you know, sometimes it's green and yellow and red because the blue and purple. What happens to notice is sometimes the blue and purple get together and the red and orange get together. Because they're different colors, but they're similar. So, I forgot. I need to put the plus back on so I can look and see if anything is perfect. No. Okay, none of these are. After you shift the hues a bit, the colors blend. So if you look at round one where the colors shifted a little bit and the orange and the red are a bit pinker, in that one, if you keep going, then both of them become purple, but they both end up looking pretty purple. They might be slightly different, but one's like a slightly blue or purple, one's a slightly red or purple, you know, but they're both still very clearly purple. And that, then you end up almost looking like there's three colors, because, you know, you technically have five, but the purple and the red, and then the blue and the purple blend a bit at different hues. But anyway, that's what it was. I just figured, like, I forget what my reasoning was. What was it? I don't remember what it was. I literally just got to, like, I want to see how these things... I think it was what spawned it is the fact that if you've noticed for round, like, 2, right? Because that's the one I did absolutely nothing to. I knew anything to 2. If you watch round 2, the color that's the most prominent is orange. The orange, for whatever reason, with the camera angle, the orange is really glowing. And as much as I mean, that's what I want, I don't like orange. It's not my favorite color. I like blue, purple, green, and red, and yellow more. So when you have a yellow that kind of blends with the orange and looks just kind of orangey, it kind of looks like red, orange, purple, blue, and green. And then when the orange is the color that really glows, you know, that's what stands out. And I don't think it meshes well with green specifically either. So if green is also standing out, which it wasn't, but it was still a lot of orange and red, I was like, that's too much. So I like moving it over a little bit to make it that slightly pinker color. But I couldn't really do that this time because it also has to look good. I didn't want to make the Sagittario just look like orangey, so I was like, let's see what else Sagittario can look like. I put it in the description, but that Sagittario looks amazing. It can really become like any color. Like, it can look really good. It become a really nice looking blue, a really nice purple, that pinkish color. And same with the face bowl, because they're bright colors. The bright colors are the ones that when you shift the hue, they stay bright, you know? While dark colors stay dark, not obviously. So that's Sagittario, that Hyperblade, that just looks awesome with different colors. Anyway, yeah, that's the explanation. I honestly just kind of wanted the lights to look different. So I decided to find if there was a hue that everything looked good, okay, she was moving her hand, that I could just do a different color. I might need to look into that, or move my light, circle them differently or something like that, or maybe I might recircle them for the next round, honestly. I don't know why, it's just the orange, and the red too, but more the orange, because I don't mind if it's a red that's really bright, but it's the orange I don't like as much. But when the orange is overpowering, which is what it felt like, I sometimes was like, no, I want to look at this. But I can't go. I told this. I replied to Helio with this. So my editor that I use, it's open source. It goes it goes from 0 to negative 300 or positive 300. And negative 300 are both 0. So negative 150 and positive 150 I think are also the same. Actually, that's a great idea. I'll just use the video I was editing earlier today, the Mario Kart video. If I go to hue, lightness, saturation, so if I go from hue 100, oh wow, okay, this absolutely is different. There we go. Okay. Okay, whatever is on this computer is a little bit different. Never mind then. Whatever's on this computer, it's at 100, and then 150 and negative and 50 and 150 are the same. So it still does the same thing where the cycle to the max and the cycle to the max on the other end, you know, are the same. Normally, like on my photo editor or Paint.net, if I do something to the hue, then it goes. It's got a lot. That hue scale is different and the color is different because like the bays, maybe it's because the bays are light in the thumbnail. The colors aren't the exact same. Like you can tell that like Rafi's bay is a lot brighter in the thumbnail than it is in the video. It's still the same color, but because the light's on it, you can really see the color more in the thumbnail, and you can't really see it as well in the actual video. But that goes. You can go on also another scale. I don't know what the scale is offhand, but it they loop together the max and the minimum. But the max and the minimum are totally different. They're the halfway point. So you go to all the way to the negative or all the way to the positive, and they're halfway to 0. As opposed to my video editor where the halfway point is literally the halfway point, and then the max numbers are the same as 0. Anyway, no matter what, that's just how it scales. And no, you don't really need to know that. But if I go 30% over, then I get that color where the pink and the red become more pink. You can still kind of tell it's red and orange, but they're pinkish. But they don't look the same. You know, they don't look like the exact same colors still. And the purple becomes a bit bluer. And the blue stays blue. But you can still tell it's purple and blue, I believe. But if I go, I technically white it as a 79, so I went a bit further. So that red and what's originally red and orange is that purple color. And then what's originally purple is now blue, I believe. Is that what it is? You know what? Whatever. I don't know. The colors become different. That's the main point. I do that though if I don't want to look at the orange sometimes. But I thought Ethan's bay looked really cool. I thought it was like, I don't know. These aren't stock battles. I don't want to do this too much in a stock battle. I might do it a little bit in a stock battle. A little bit. Like slight adjustments. But I don't want to like do a ton of stuff with the hue in a stock battle because, you know, if you come to see Rock Zarafa, you're not expecting to see a green Zarafa or something, you know? And that might throw people off. I'm not sure people would want that for just people randomly finding, you know, searching a video. But a CBT is mostly subscribers anyway, so I'm like, yeah, I don't think the subscribers mind. Some people like it. It's fun to do occasionally, at least. So I figured, you know what? Let's go ahead and totally shift the hue and make things look a different color. As long as they still look good, you know. That's what I always do, is I make sure they look good. The other thing is going the other way on the scale. Yellows become greenish and orange becomes yellow. And that can also look weird. Flash Sagittario, like Karatomi, becoming more yellow looks odd. And the yellows become kind of greenish, but it's like usually because yellow is a light color anyway. They become like a lightish green, and it looks kind of weird. It's not really a lime green yet, unless I go further. So it's like, I want to do this. Okay, I got some eggs now. Oh. Come on. Be the shiny, please, please, please. No. I will say if I do it again, it's likely to be before. I didn't adjust anything for rounds 5 through 6. 5 through 8. I recorded each half and half. And I'll probably do in the last part. I might redo the lights around it to maybe make the orange not as out there, because the orange is the color that just really glows right now for some reason. Which is funny because if you look at those lights outside, orange does not stand out at all, nor does the red. It's the blue and the green and a little bit of the purple that really, when it's Christmas season and those types of lights are outside, that's what you see. But for whatever reason, it's the red and the orange that are really like glowing. Like when you see those on the carpet, you see a giant red and a giant orange where it's glowing, and the blue and the purple are getting swallowed. And we're getting to the end of this box too now. We're 3/5 of the way through, about. I won't be doing anything probably for round 7 because that's Wolborg's round, and that combo looks way too good. With the pink. Wolborg's color just looks really, really good. I don't want to screw with that. I could possibly do it a little bit in the round 8, but I kind of like how Sketch Stars combo looks. That Cosmic Pegasus with Pegasus 2, the Aqua one. I'm also not sure how Libra do, because if I go like what I did with Pingu's Kerbex before, I don't know how that's going to change. Though Hades Kerbex looks really cool as well. You can get like a cool blue color and stuff, and a cool orange and purple. So maybe that's a contender to be like super hue shifted. But otherwise, I don't see myself doing much with it, because I'm not sure how Libra would look. Libra's the big one, because it's already a bit green, so if I go one way, it'd become a darker green, and if the other way, it might become yellow. Do I want Libra to be either of those colors? I don't know. That goes out the window though if I decide to totally like change it, maybe leave it like red or something. Then what's round 6? Who was in round 6? Oh, that was Asahi's round. So that was Asahi Blader, Orange Sagittario, and I think it was a Green Bay was the bay that was in round 2. I don't know, it was Blue Bay, it was hockey. I'm not sure what I do there. I'm not sure Sagittario. I don't think Flash Sagittario. That energy ring looks really good if you mess with it much. So I might not do anything there. Maybe I will. I don't think I will. You never know. I'll have to look around and see if there's anything. As far as I'm aware, Helio said that the lights looked really good with those colors. He liked them, and I think they look good too. I think it's just kind of your preference on colors, there's if you look at the thumbnails of the 64-bay tournament, which I'm just going to go check real quick. I look up 64 on my channel here. Come on. 64. Because the thumbnails are all hue shifted as well, right? There's that one where it's the blue and aqua and yellow and red. I guess the blue and aqua blend. Then there's the color that's red and green and yellow. That's the one. Because that one, there's an aqua and a green, and I think the aqua and the green are might be purple and blue naturally at that hue, but because they're close enough together, they kind of blend. And then you've got a purple, a yellow, and a red, I believe, is what it looks like. I think one of those colors, the green really stands out. The green's really bright. But naturally, whatever color is the brightest, whenever you shift the hue, it's going to stay bright. So, whatever say it's the red and orange, like right now. Currently, the red and orange are the colors that's really standing out. If the red and orange, become blue, then you'll have a big splash of blue, But those thumbnails, right, all of them are color shifted. And you could see some of them, it looks like there's a lot of colors. For example, the round of 16. There's a very clear aqua, there's a clear yellow, there's a clear orange, there's a clear purple. And those 4 colors are all pretty different on this color spectrum too. Well, I guess green, yellow, and orange are consecutive, but they all look quite different. And then there's another color I can see. Maybe it's the green shining through things a little bit, but I think there's a pinkish color and there's a purple from what the looks of it are. So you can see 5 distinct colors. But other ones, I think I brought up the green and red one before. There's a green and an aqua, but they kind of blend. And there's a red and a purple, and I think there's a yellow as well. But, the green and, whatever blend. And there might be red, and the other thing blends with red. One thumbnail's got purple and pink, and they kind of blend a little bit. Then you got an aqua and a green. And there might be a blue there, too. Some of the purples look like they're shiny a bit bluish, I can't really tell. And then, what was the other one? The finale is what I do normally, is I shift so that red and orange become pinkish. Or the orange becomes pinkish and the orange becomes pinkish and I guess the red becomes maybe more orangey, but it looks okay with the pink. And then there's a clear blue and aqua. And a purple, I think. Something like that. Or blue, green, and aqua, I don't know. But basically, more of the story is sometimes the colors blend. The orange and yellow can blend to different hues, or the orange and red can blend hues, and green and blue can blend hues, to the point where they end up both looking like the same color at certain points. No, I haven't. I have not gotten it. This box right here is, let's see. This box was I started right here. Whoops. I started right here. And this was box 540. This was 570. This is 600. So right now we're on, what, 615? 615. When I'm done with this box, it'll be 630. Axew without a shiny. Still trugging along. I just want to play Arceus or Breath of the Wild or something for a bit. But I've said it before, I cannot stop doing this because then I'm just going to come back and I'm not going to want to shiny hunt anymore. And then I would have bred 600 Axews for no reason. So we gotta continue. And okay, good. What I keep doing is I get the Axew and I don't check my thing and I don't put it in my box and then I not hatching anything. And then I got 2. And I don't want them to hatch at the same time because then then I'm just riding around for a while and not getting anything. I like them being spread out. Let's talk about the hue though, because people have said something, I made that comment with the colors. I changed the colors of the last CBT part. I figure because they're combos, it's not a big deal if I change the colors. So I just totally shifted the hue around by a lot. And I color corrected a bit. Before the color correction, it was greener looking, and the greens shined more. And then I took some of the green out, and the greens got toned down a bit. And it kind of made everything look a little bit purpley, and like my arm's purple, but the metal was green. The metal looked green specifically, which is why I wanted to take some of that out. I don't want the metal looking green. That's a good one. It's not a shiny one, but it's good. Running low on lemonade. Take good care of it and raise it well. Come on, shiny, right here, please. Nope. Can't lock me on my side. It's 1 in 500 odds, so could I actually have gotten it in the 1 in 500? Could I have been in that, like, roughly, probably 50%? I don't know how you calculate that. I've heard what the statistics are from a Trainer Tips video on Go Shinies, and I assume it's probably similar here, just on a bigger scale. But I have to assume at least 50% of people have a shiny after 500. Yeah, if it's 1 in 500 odds. Why can't I be in that 500? Why do I have to be on the other side of that? It's like this is like the Fire Emblem Heroes 5-star odds where you don't get a 5-star for 140 for 40 summons, even though the odds are absolutely against that. I'll be in that like 90th percentile. Or would it be the 10th percentile? I guess it'd be the 10th percentile. Whatever the percentile. I don't know. I forget how that goes. If you're top percentile, I guess top percentile is 99th, so it would be like the 1th percentile, you know, who doesn't get it. Whatever it is. The more I do this, though, and the further it takes until I get it, the more I regret this. I'm like, this is a waste of time. I just hope it's, you know, it's not 800 or something, or 1,000 until I get it. I can only hope it's in the next 500. How do people do those counters? Do they like the actual professional YouTubers who have counters for this? Do they like manually press it, or do they have somebody that's pressing it for them? How does it go up? How does that work? I'm curious. Do most people take 1,000 to get a shiny? I just think that there's 1 in 500, so at least half the people, I think, is the odds you get one at that point. I would think. And then probably the next 500, it's probably 75%, and then the next is probably like 87.5%. I can only hope I'm not, you know, in that percentile where, you know, I'm in the minority at that height, that many. That's, I'm assuming, how the percentages go. I assume it's roughly 50% at 1 in 500, you know, 75 at 1 in 1,000, 87.5 at 1 in 1,500, probably 1 in, you know, after 2,000 if you don't have one, it's probably, or probably by 2,000 it's probably like 93, you know, half or whatever, 93.75, whatever the number is. There's another one that's not a shiny. I got 1 perfect today too. I haven't even gotten multiple perfects today. That's another one. It's 0 and you know, there's 30. You can get 0 and you can go up to 31. So that's 32 different IVs you can get. And both these are 6 IV Dittos and Brink, so it's a 1 in 32 chance that I get one. It's perfect, I believe. I believe that's what the odds would be. And I'm on my... I was started 2 rows into box 13, and I had to finish the last 3 rows. And then I filled box 14, box 15, I also filled box 16. About 3.5 boxes. Only got 1 shiny. Or not shiny. 1 perfect. I've got no shinies. I haven't been doing this off camera either. Ever since I started streaming this, for the most part, I've done most of my encounters shiny. I think I streamed it, and then I did some more off camera. Streamed it, and then I streamed it, and then streamed it, or something like that. And this is the thing. I think once I streamed it, I either did a little bit off camera, and then streamed, and then I haven't played this between this and the last stream. I just forget between the first and the second stream how much I did off camera. I think I did a little bit. But I haven't done any extra since between. So all of the counters, I haven't done any new encounters between streams. So it'd be cool to get it on camera. The part of me, I keep saying to myself, I need to just grind off screen sometime. There's no reason in continuously doing this on, you know, or not. No reason, but, you know, I get this done quicker if I do it off camera. And not wait for 2 weeks while I don't stream. What time is it? 8:49. Okay, it's close to midnight. So it's 49 at 8:39, so I gotta go about 10 past midnight to stream for 3 hours. That'd be cool. It's not a shiny. Where's the last live stream? Okay, so the last one I had connection. Oh, okay, this is the 4th one. Okay. The last live stream I had connection issues. My internet died multiple times. I think I deleted the original streams because I did it once and it died. And I did it the second time and I was streaming and I clicked to check something and it said, "Oh, it cut my stream off." I was like, "Oh, great!" And then it started streaming automatically again. I think at one point. But what was I gonna say? The last one I only did like an hour. And partially was because of that. I had gone more like an hour and a half. And then one, my internet died 10 minutes before I hit 3 hours, and it cut the stream off, so it says I only went 2 hours and 53 minutes, but I really did go 3 hours. It just was off stream, essentially. I would like this to hit the 3 hour mark. That'd be cool. I know I've done Beyblade for 3 hours. What was the longest Breath of the Wild stream? Should I click off and then come back? That's what we're doing. My longest Breath of the Wild stream. 2 hours 11. Mario Kart was. That was not Breath of the Wild. That was over after 2 hours. Doing random things in Pokemon Sword, which was originally called breeding, and then I got sex bots, and that was really funny. Yeah, so it looks like Breath of the Wild, I got over 2 hours a couple times, or once really. No, 2 times. I got over 2 hours a couple times. And I've streamed a while for, like, you know, the Beyblade stuff and all that. But I'm trying now with, you know, like these. You know, I've been going a while. It's like, let's check out the Sonic Shiny. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'm just glad that I kind of can go for a while, you know? It's cool. Okay, so the goal here is to stream for 18 more minutes to the 3 hour mark. Officially hit the 3 hour mark on a stream. On a non-Beyblade stream. And have it say 3 hours because my internet didn't die or anything like that. And then it cuts the time short even though I was actually streaming longer. And also, I want to finish this box. That's the goal. Let us finish. Okay, we're gonna finish this box no matter what. So, never mind. Just get as far as we can. Let's see though. This is. I'm definitely gonna hit 100 though for this stream that I've hatched. I went from 500. Last time I think I ended at about 500. I was like, we'll get to 500 and then we'll stop. Okay, good. Now Axew's in the bar party. This time I've gotten about another 100. So box 50 to 600. So this will be 630. It's probably gone a little bit more than that. Tonight from the worker. I'll be starting to get a headache again. My throat's starting to hurt a little bit too. It's probably good for talking for 3 hours straight. I mean, I said this earlier, streaming is hard. I know there's an argument on YouTube versus streamers because streamers seem to not really totally understand fair use. And I agree with the YouTubers there. If I sit here and I'm eating a meal and looking at my phone while a video is playing in the background, that is absolutely not fair use. If I'm not doing anything constructive, you know, either criticism or any reactions. That being said, though, I understand the streamer's perspective. It's hard being online that long since they don't take lunch breaks. They don't go offline for lunch. They just eat lunch on stream. At least some of them do, it seems like. Or did. So I can see it. It's difficult. YouTubers will take a lot of work, though, because a lot of YouTubers script things, you know, and all that, and write their videos, and then you have all the editing to do. Some streamers downplay that entirely, like, oh, it's easy, and those streamers are really brain dead. You're really dumb if you think that. Oh, another one. It's hard doing both. One, you're online for, you know, long periods talking and interacting with the chat, and that's, you know, just difficult and kind of draining. And the other one involves a lot of editing and a lot of work putting into it. Even if it's only one video, you know, a week or something like that. I feel like that streaming is more profitable though if you got big, because you like donations and stuff like that. I feel like it's easier to do that than like YouTube, because I feel like you gotta get YouTube ad revenue to a certain point, or you have to rely on sponsors. That's just from like watching some streams though, even if it's post, you know, or podcasts, where people donate in. But I feel like you'd still have to be pretty big for it to be even livable. Both of the things are hard to make a career out of. I just still call this a hobby, but I do want to get monetized, because I would like to be able to get some pocket change at least. Well, it's a good Axew, but it's not a shiny. At least my videos don't get demonetized. Well, if I put up an old video that's not, like the Wolf Leon one was no narration. I put up one without with narration, then it gets demonetized. Or not demonetized, it gets comments taken off. But Helio gets that all the time. Brisky does too, which is weird. Brisky's not a child. So I don't understand why Brisky gets his comments turned off. I get on old videos though with narration, which makes sense because they were recorded when I was a kid. I know Griffith Quill had that once too, and it's like, huh, why did Griffith Quill have that? Some people, I guess, don't have that problem. Come on, shiny Axew, please. If I started breeding like Tauros, said I want to use a Tauros, I breed Tauros, I'd get a shiny Tauros like right away, and then I'd shoot myself. Something on my eye. I'm not dumb enough though to start breeding something else random and then get a shiny. Something is still in my eye. Hope I got it out. Nope. It's another good Axew. I don't think confusion should always be a physical attack. I think it should be a special attack if it's a special move. If you use a special move, or a physical attack if you use like maybe anything. I don't know, I wish there was more of a reason. Like Flatter doesn't work like Swagger does, because Swagger makes the attack higher, so you do more damage to yourself, but Flatter doesn't do that because all confusion moves are physical. I don't know why I started thinking about that, but that's something I don't like. Ugh. Grass. Go outside and touch some grass. Nope, not shiny. Not perfect either. Whoops. So we've passed the 6:30 mark total. I've definitely gotten over 100 today. Oh, midnight. It's foggy. Cool. I like that. That is a cool effect. I'll leave the dens. They look cool when they're glowing. Seismitoad is still here. Okay, 10 minutes. It's the goal at the 3-hour mark. 9:01. Or 12:01. I don't know why, but this clock is, this computer's clock is on Pacific time. I don't know why. Yeah, I could change it, but I don't really care. I know it's on Pacific time, so I know what time it is. I think I started streaming about this time. I started streaming at about 9. A little bit after. And now my clock that's 3 hours back is saying it's 9. Shiny would be really cool about now. I'm excited for the new games, honestly. The new mechanic with the type changing, with the crystal thingy, looks really cool. And how you get, like, some types are rarer than others. I think I heard stab is still better with your regular type. Or stab is stronger with your regular type than on one of the other one, like if you become water type, something like that. But that just seems cool. And strategy too, especially if you don't know what crystal type a Pokemon would be. If you do like one per battle like Mega Evolution or Z moves, but you don't know, that could be, not just what Pokemon's gonna like crystallize or whatever, but what type will they become? If they can become multiple, that like adds a whole new element, which is really sweet. I'm very excited. And it's gonna be open world too, which is really cool. Legends Arceus was really neat, even though it's a bunch of different maps that are decent sized. I don't know how that compares to like Breath of the Wild, like if you combine them together. But you've got a bunch of maps that are pretty good sized, but they're separate. And you just choose which one to go to and then to go back home. And then Breath of the Wild got the one big map. I'm excited to have a Pokemon game that's got one big Breath of the Wild like map instead of a bunch that you choose which one you want to go to, like Legends. And I also like that there's been Venomoth shown. Has not been shown, but I really hope Shroomish or Breloom are in the game. I mentioned this earlier to Shiny Luck Sucks, but I learned from watching a Hoops and Hip Hop video that Venomoth has not been in a regional deck since Gen 2. And I know Breloom hasn't been in one since Gen 3. And Breloom especially is such a cool type. Grass fighting. The only things are Legendary in Ferrozion and starters. Chestnut and now Hisuian Decidueye. But Breloom's never been back. It's been in the post game. You can get the Friend Safari, the Safari Zone after you get the National Dex. Some route in the post game of Black and White, and then Pinwheel Forest in Black and White 2, which is post game of Black and White 2 since the map changes where you are. And I'm glad Venomoth's back, and I hope Breloom's back as well. There's, especially nowadays that we get like 400. We got what, like 400, 450 in the main decks, the regional decks. It's 400 in this decks. I don't know how many new Pokemon were added exactly. I would guess it's probably at least 100. The DLC, but we got 400 out of 900 Pokemon, and that became 500 out of like 900 with the DLC that are in this game. How in the world do you have a Pokemon that goes that many generations from 6 to 9 or 3 to 9 without being in a regional dex? That's just insane. Like, come on, Pokemon. There's just no reason for that. When you have that many Pokemon coming into a game, like, how the hell does a couple Pokemon just get left out over and over and over and over and over again? This is dumb. This game, I mean, I like the idea, honestly, like, okay, I don't have as many Pokemon to choose from. But when you get to the post game, it's like, wait, why? Why can't you just transfer older Pokemon? I mean, there's already, between Shining and Pearl, Brilliant Diamond, Shining, and Pearl in this game, right? We've already got at least 5 full generations of Pokemon. Only Gens 5, 6, and 7 don't have every Pokemon, and you've already got a good amount of those Pokemon already. I think I counted up that at least 200 of the 400 are from Gens 5, 6, and 7. I think it's a bit lesser from 1 and 2, or at least like 150. So really, in the end, I'm pretty sure it's like, maybe we'll count that up before we stop. But I'm pretty sure between this and Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, you've already got like 700 at least of the Pokemon. It's like, why not have a national deck so we can just get that other extra? You might as well. Did I? No, I did move an Axew. Okay, we're good. Got egg from the daycare lady. I saw her put her arm up. Yeah. Let's get another 3.5 minutes to catch him. Or patch him. I like Cutiefly will move up to you, but it won't actually do anything. It'll just sit there. I like Cutiefly. Also Jayblader's mascot. But I like Cutiefly before that became Jayblader's mascot. I'm a big Ribombee fan. That was one of my favorite Pokemon in Gen 7. I didn't use it on my main team, but I leveled it up like right afterwards. Look at them. There's a third. There they go. But I like Ribombee a lot. I know Electros is coming back. It's cool seeing the different Pokemon that are in. My thing is, like, if we're going to have that many Pokemon in a game, I hope they do bring back the national decks, because there's no excuse. But, just for post-game, because I don't need that many Pokemon in the main game, right? Just the post-game. You know, once I beat the game, I want to be able to get up, transfer the Pokemon, you know? Given this is Gen 9, I assume it's, like, roughly the same engine and all that, right? Unless they, have really changed sprites. But even then, like, go all out. Make Pokemon move around a bit more. Like Darmwalker, who bounces around. And go. I know Battle Revolution, that was a thing, you know. Battle Revolution is like, oh, you know, Kecleon is like moving around, you know, and there's a lot of personality, and they don't have that anymore. Pokemon just kind of sit still. Axew. Yeah, I realized. No good defense. Oh. That sucks. Okay, now let's move this one into the box. Place it. And looks like hit the 3 hour mark. Well, it might not technically hit the 3 hour mark from the YouTube perspective. Oh yeah, it did. Okay, it just did. It's a couple of seconds behind. Nice. Let's touch that last egg. That'll be in the bottom spot. Honestly, thought I was originally going to just end it after 2 hours. So I was getting a bit hungry. Or 1 hour and 15 minutes. But we went another hour. There it is. Cool. Last one? Probably last one of the day. I want to move it forward away from that size potato. Maybe another notch. Well, that's another not shiny. So we were over 500, I think. This was the box for 540, 570, 600, 630, and we're halfway through this one exactly. So that's 645. So 645 hatches, and no shinies. Now, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, and Gen 4 are all in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl for the National Dex. And Gen 8 is the new gen, so obviously all the Gen 8 Pokemon here. So that leaves only 3 gens. In Pokemon, there's 900 total. So, pre-DLC, not even looking at the DLC, because I don't actually know what was added to the DLC from Gen 5, 6, and 7. Like, I might double up counting when I do that. But at least from these gens, right? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, none there, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 35, 36, 37, 38, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. So 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. So far we got 55 Pokemon from the Gen 5, 6, and 7. It's 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 70, 71, 72. I'm not going to count the Galarian form, I guess. I think you can get regular Stunfisk though too by switching it. It's way more difficult to get though. So we're just sticking at 72. 73, 74, 75, 76. So 76, 77, 78. 79, 80, 81, 82. 82, 83, 84. 85, 86, 87. So that's 90. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114. So 114 so far, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119. 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, 138, 138, we're at 138, 139, 140, 141, 142, 143, 144, 45, 46, 47. So 147, so nearly 150 Pokemon. So you've got, that's about Gen 5's Pokédex in total. So before DLC, you've got Gens 1 through 4 in the National Dex, so they're all in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. You've got all Gen 8, and then you've got roughly the count of Gen 5 Pokemon between Gen 5, 6, and 7 before DLC is added. So that's already there, you know, most. And then I guess if you went through the... Well, I don't have all the Pokemon, though, so I'm not sure if I can fully count these. Yeah, I guess I can do my best. So... Was Fomantis... I feel like Fomantis and Lurantis were in that other one. Maybe not, though. Talonflame wasn't. That's 3. 3... 4... These were, weren't they? Yeah, these were. 4, these were. This is 9. Those 2 lines. 10 with Comfey. So 10. Azora, that's 2, so that's 12. 12, and that's Denine was added, right? I don't know what that one is. It's 13, I guess. I feel like I already saw. I feel Malamar was there, right? Stoutland isn't. That's the next, like, what was it, 17? 17. Were these there? Yeah, I don't know which of these Pokemon is there. Exactly. Minshao's new. So it's hard with these. Crocodile's new. It's probably like, what, 25-ish? At least. But that's still 5 gens plus the equivalent of Gen 5. And Gen 6 is smaller too. So you could argue that maybe the entire not all Gen 6, but the count of Gen 6 Pokemon. However many Pokemon are in Gen 6. That same number of Pokemon. Oh yeah, Fomantis definitely isn't, because Fomantis I don't have, and I have everything in the regular Pokédex. Anyway, what I was gonna say is, you probably could count up all the DLC Pokemon from Gens 5, 6, and 7 that weren't in the regular game, and probably add up to the number of Gen 6 Pokemon total. So you've probably got roughly the equivalent of the same number of Gen 7 Pokemon between Gen 5, 6, and 7 not in the game, and every other Pokemon is in some Gen 8 game. And it's like, why is there no National Dex? Rant over about National Dex. That's all. That took an extra 10 minutes. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I don't know if I'm going to do this off camera or not. We'll see. But I'll let you guys know if I do this off camera if I get one. So, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I don't know when I'll stream again. I do it randomly. There's no baseball today, so if there's baseball or after record, then I don't stream.